Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Nasty Losers Finals. I'm AJ Cannon, joined over here by Big Tilt. We have Koyo versus Groundhog Day. It should be a fun match. What do you think about this one?
These are the two teams that definitely showed their prowess in the North America Strikers training grounds. And I actually scrimmed the Groundhog Day. I did the warm-ups, and they look pretty strong. And I'm really looking forward to what happens in this match coming up.
Should indeed. Sorry. Apologies for the phantom sneeze there. Did get me for a second. But should be a fun match here for these teams. Getting into game now. It is, of course, going to be Night Market for the first match, and it's going to be stacks on stacks and Twin Drive. So a lot of things happening there, but not super kill heavy off the bat like we had with yesterday's NASA game versus Cortex versus Cyberswipe. So not immediately KO, but should still be a fair bit of fun. We're going to see the Rasmus, the Now, and the Mako being locked in against the Aimi, Atlas, Juno. So a lot more skirmishing, but still a fair bit of kill on either side.
Yeah, this looks actually like two core control comps. Non-traditional comp on the side of Groundhog Day because they have two midfielders, but it's gonna play into the speed a lot, and whoever wins the middle, the speed gate, will probably kick the tempo up and score.
Yeah, that speed gate is definitely something to keep an eye on in this match. But so far, so good. Both teams just duking it out, one against the other. A lot of abilities being used here, but that's going to be first barrier, second barrier. Yin Kirby picking up two with some timely uses of abilities. But so far, no goal. Flowers trying to take it back with the Cyber Swipe, the strike shot as well from Jewish Asian, but not quite going to be getting goal there either. The Strike War won in the end by Beelzebub with that primary usage. The Firewall Sentry not going to quite get the connection, but will lock out the corner. No, the strike shot is really nice from Beelzebub. The strike shot from Atlas. The strikes, the core flip from Flowers is really nice. Gets both the barriers in the end. Astral Projection as well comes out, but it's not quite going to be the goal just yet. The passing play is really nice. Slime pass up, but the core flip force out of Beelzebub is going to secure it. Flowers low on health, but does have the Celestial Intervention there. The pass down to Julek there. Yin Kirby killing a Blobo flying a little bit too close to the edge, and the core flip down to the bottom is going to be the first goal. But first point going to overtime. I think I like this game already.
Good strike placement going in from Yin Kirby, and looking at these awakenings, it's double stacks for this forward side of Koyo, but Twin Drive on the side of Sphinx. So it's really the battle of who can stack up their stacks first and take over the game, because all this speed is going to be hard for each team to catch up, because once someone dies, they're gonna be playing on the back foot for most of the point, and which allow the team with the stacks to just out-tempo everyone.
Yeah, but also the team with the core flips, and oh, that's another Aimi going off the edge, and that's the stacks on stacks reset there, and the beautiful primary there from Beelzebub, all the way from downtown, putting it all the way in, taking a 2-0 lead here, and quite a commanding one for Koyo so far.
They're really punishing Sphinx's jumps, and now it's not that bad that Sphinx is dying because they don't have stacks, but they're just getting even more abilities and more tempo and more power play actions to help get through this Atlas, because this Atlas does have Twin Drive, and it's going to be a bit hard to score on 1v1, but Koyo's going to figure something out. They're going to play together because that's their playstyle, and just take over this game.
Yeah, Julik as well, I want to highlight that secondary usage there, the proximity drone, just doing wonders for the dribbling around the opponents. The passing play as well from Koyo has been superb, just playing into each other's strengths and really just trusting one another. The ultimate from Sphinx does get some time, but not much else, as the clear is completed by a core flip from Beelzebub. Astral Projection is really nice. Firewall Sentry, Cyber Swipe, Flowers investing just about everything there, but not getting a barrier still. Sphinx does manage to win the strike with the help of a timely Slime, but that is only one barrier. We are now in overtime. Pendulum Swing defending us really nicely by Jewish Asian there, and we have the Red Core Slime getting a second barrier on the other side of the field. This is now an open goal. The barrier advantage over to Groundhog Day, but the core flip, really nice counter. The Cyber Swipe sends it over into the barrier, and the proximity drone as well. The core flip counters the Astral Projection, sends it all the way to the top. Yin Kirby finding an incredible angle.
Oh, a great shot. Brawley gets it done in that scenario, and now he's in the MVP slot. Well deserved, and looking for more speed, more size. Ooh, I'm looking at that peak performance, but there is a 1-2 punch on the low, so it's the battle decision. Do you want to play for your win condition or deny the other team?
Is going to go with the built different on that, and in the end it's going to be the Monu deny away from the now, so basically just saying, yeah, if I'll leave the 1-2 punch open so that if you take it, you don't deny my now, which also takes it away from the Atlas, so Atlas, no chance he's getting Monumentalist in this draft, and that means that in the end it's going to be the 1-2 punch falling to Mako, and it's going to be the Spark of Agility on Flowers looking for potentially some Spark scaling. And of course, if you are down a set, Sparks are kind of nice because you have to already get an extra set to win, so it's just more of a chance to scale those Sparks if you really think about it. It's also a little bit of copium, but I do not mind that pickup, especially since Flowers stacks on stacks Spark of Agility is just going to be so fast on that enemy.
I really like the draft from Korea. They got the size on the Rasmus, and they got peak performance on the now, so a lot of speed coming up. And it allows Yin Kirby to win 1v1s against rotation, but so many cooldowns for that twin drive. And it's going to be a test to decide a Grunhong whether they can penetrate the defense of Mako with an unconventional comp with Amijina.
Yeah, it is indeed a bit of an unconventional comp, but we'll see if they can get something done there. Unfortunately, not this defense from Beelzebub, and the layering with Julek has just been impeccable all game long, so it's very difficult to actually get through with enough abilities to stand against those strikes. And the incredible find from Julek all the way around the Cosmic Expanse, and that's going to mean Flowers almost dying there, but not quite enough damage on Yin Kirby just yet to get a kill like that. Core Flip as well from Sphinx forced out of there a little unfortunately. Core Flip from Jewish Asian really nicely found, but Yin Kirby with an incredible Death's Touch all the way up at the top. And I mean, Yin Kirby, I don't want to, be too harsh, but really just playing with the enemy team, playing him like a fiddle on this one. Level 5 in a game where the next highest on the enemy team is barely level 4 is just speaking wonders about the core control on this comp, and Julek not far behind either.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking really good for the side of Korea. Groundhog Day have to play on the back foot because the stacks are on their favor, and they're really dealing with all the pressure that Julak and Yin Kirby are putting onto them, and they can't really get any set offense on because again, the unconventional comp, the Juno and the Aimi, they don't really have the stuffing power as a Rasmus Primary and an X-Bow. A good kill from Flowers will lead them to have a power play, and maybe this is the chance AJ can.
It could be their chance, especially taking off all of those stacks on the Rasmus, giving the opportunity, setting up the Firewall Sentry, but that layering, again, I was talking about it earlier, but Julek and Beelzebub are just in sync with one another. They're not doubling up abilities. They're making sure that even against the Firewall Sentry with an Aimi standing inside of it, they cannot lose a barrier. The secondary as well from Julek to make sure that Beelzebub could get down in time to defend that barrier. They do lose one in the end, but it was so much invested for the first barrier, and the first barrier is rarely ever the problem. The second barrier still standing in. Kirby is not going to be able to get through the Astral Projection. The core flip from Sphinx is really nice, waits it out, a little bit of patience on that one. Unfortunate Sphinx does not find the angle into the bottom, but Flowers will find the angle up at the top. The barrier finally goes down, the core flip with the Firewall Sentry, and that is an excellent checkmate there from Flowers. There's not a whole lot about that you can do. All of the abilities were already invested. There's not much left in the tank, and an excellent find there on just a team that is weary from the solid defense they've had to put up so far.
Yeah, there's this win condition for the side of Groundhog Day. It's going to be either finding these cheeky kills with the Aimi dash, or Koi speed from the Juno, or even just not even killing. They can't even do that, but just finding these setup plays with the top if they get hot shot on the Juno, or just this Aimi turret. Just put a lot of creations down the field and just stuff them out. But it's going to be really hard. Because the Julek and Beelzebub are looking really solid on defense, and all they need is to get Yin Kirby the ball once, and he'll probably score.
Yeah, but you can also use the Firewall Sentry to just get so much forward pressure. Flowers trying to play this game, but Sphinx was in the midfield there, trying to block out Yin Kirby, but that just meant that the clear down to the bottom was fine. The Good Drop gets it forward. Flowers gets a really nice bounce off the middle there. Beelzebub trying to intercept, but Flowers just got a strike afterwards. And now he was just about to start talking about how good Julek has been with the angles, especially on the core flips all game long, but Flowers pulling an angle like that from out of nowhere was amazing.
An unconventional playstyle for Flowers is what she needs to do to make quick work of this Mako, and It's gonna really rely on either, okay, we're gonna get this core speed up, and we're gonna get these tricky scenarios that they're not, oh my gosh, 2 core flips are burned, and we might get the barrier here. No, they need to really pull all the stops out in order to make something happen against this team.
Yeah, I think Groundhog Day really needs to just get a lot of forward pressure throughout this. They can't let it be passed back and forth as it has been so far, because that just enables cooldowns to come back. And the core flip from Sphinx was a nice idea to get some momentum, but didn't quite get the connection that he was looking for on it. And Jewish Asian just slowly running on the Atlas down to the bottom there, using the Cosmic Expanse to zone out the Rasmus. Julak low on health, gonna use the core flip. Strike Shot is really nice. Astro Direction to follow it up. Firewall Sentry carries it forward, but can Flowers actually get it through in the end? Unfortunately, the missed strike there. A great clear found by Beelzebub. Jewish Asian getting it forward on the bottom. Sphinx as well, running to the bottom. But Flowers up the top of the Cyber Swipe. Strike not enough. The Glitch Drop sending it for an Astro Protection as well. Beelzebub, a Strike Shot countered by a Core Flip. Great setup with an arrow, but not enough. And an incredible find on that narrow gap by Flowers as the arrow was expanding. But the pendulum swing from Rasmus is going to secure the last barrier that is on this field, and both goals are now open. Glitch Drop trying to intercept the core, but not enough. Of course, we do have these red core slimes all over the place, and Beelzebub whiffing a strike, unfortunately, is going to mean that Sphinx scores that last goal and ties up the game. 1-1 set.
It looked like Beelzebub actually kind of lagged there, so unfortunate. And this drop is looking really scary. Deadeye, I mean, she has the pick of the litter here, and I do want to point out this team player. This team player might change the course of this game, and whoever gets it will give their team a lot of abilities to just push up and really stuff each other out.
Yeah, that team player on the Mako will just help Beelzebub clear past this Flowers, Sphinx, Aimee, Juno combo, where they have the opportunity to recover the core themselves with the slimes or the glitch pops, but when the core is so much faster off the team player, that gets a lot harder, especially if you've already been dribbling with them back and forth in Strike Wars, and the Mako is able to proc that 1-2 punch on top of the team player. The core is going to rocket out of the goal box, and on top of that, Rasmus getting more size, demolition as well for the cooldown reduction is really nice. One barrier does go down, not two just yet, and a great offense from Sphinx and Flowers. It keeps it in the middle, but Yin Kirby finds an angle along the bottom. Flowers dribbling at the top of the side with the Cyber Swipe, not going to be enough. Glitch Drop sends it forward, but the Strike War is won by Julak with so many ability uses as well. The primary just perfectly timed, but I mean, Jewish Asian on this Atlas pick has been putting up a phenomenal defense. So has Beelzebub, though. Core flip forced out of Flowers. The hook from Yin Kirby was perfect to snag it out of the air, though. Beelzebub also looking very close to that core flip and is going to get that now. Might have to use it, but isn't going to need to just yet, which is massive because now it's available for the next round of defense. And Flowers also taking a lot of damage. The core flip from Yin Kirby also invested. Core flip from Sphinx. I say kill flip because I see an angle potentially onto Flowers here, but it's not quite just yet. There it is. It's going to be the secondary from now to pick that one up. And of course, that team player speed all over the place. Death's Touch from Yin Kirby predicting the Rasmus clear beautifully as well. On top of it, secondary comes out. The core flip from now is actually just a bait, and Yin Kirby is actually the one to get it up to the top side of the map while they're distracted by the core flip.
Really good play for the side of Koyo. And I'm really looking at this brawler goalie matchup for the side of Yin Kirby and Jewish Asian. Yin Kirby does have the double size with stacks, but on the other side, Jewish Asian has the twin drive or the prime time, so it's going to be a really interesting thing to look at because Atlas has so many cooldowns, and if Yin Kirby can get the ball like 5-6 times, which is kind of hard because all this core control coming in from Sphinx and Flowers, but just using the size to get to the Atlas, but the Atlas has 4 cooldowns, it's gonna be really good to watch here.
Yeah. One of the other things to watch out for, oh wait, the core flip from Flowers intercepted by Yin Kirby. The slime as well is really nice, but not enough. Pendulum swing as well is going to take the barrier, and we just go right back into this game. I was just about to start talking about some of the stats, but you never get a chance to in this game. The Strike Wars are being fought, and in the end, Yin Kirby finding that same angle up to the top, and Jewish Asian not quite able to get the intercept with the Cosmic Expanse. But the one thing I was going to point out was the stacks on stacks. 150 stacks on stacks to both Yin and Julak. Flowers only on 84.
So they do have to deal with his stacks 150 because they're not really looking for KOs with this comp. They're playing for core control, and you're going to be down. Like, Sphinx is playing midfield, and he's just getting outsped by both the brawler on the side of Koyo and the midfield. So it really relies on Flowers to just make do with any interaction she can. Because if the ball gets past her, it's not looking good for Juno. She has a little bit of slams, but it's not enough.
Yeah, another great core flip found by Julak, but I was just about to say, oh, the Yin Kirby core flip, not as good, but never mind, it's actually exactly what's needed to get it through. And a 3-0 set this time, going the way of Koyo. Yin Kirby once again the MVP there, putting in the work. I don't think Juno is going to get hot shot this time. It's going to be denied by the Now, it seems like. And Fight or Flight going the way of Erasmus. I almost want to see the Might of the Colossus because of all of the already picked up size, but the Fight or Flight is also an amazing pickup, nevertheless.
Prop on Atlas is probably going to happen here. And I would like to see Stinger pick up. Yes, Stinger pick up on the side of Juno. So maybe if someone steps on the Juno side, they take a lot of damage from that Mondu. And surprisingly, Aerial's pick up from the Atlas. Maybe they deny the Mako, but she just gets Missile Prop. What do you think about that, AJ?
I think that I like Missile Prop on Mako a lot. I think that this game is a little fast-paced for it to get the maximum use that you want out of it, but I do also think that there's been a lot of times that Beelzebub has been shooting down from all the way, you can see right then, trying to shoot these 3-point shots, and I mean, we'll be able to do that a lot more easily with the missile prop, so definitely think that's a really good pickup there. You know, the draft going either way, I think a lot of people got what they wanted out of this one, so I don't think any team is necessarily unhappy, but of course, if you're the Juno, you really did want that hot shot to put the sore spot. Other than that, I think all around, not a bad draft, not a bad game over here as well. Only one berry going down this time. Now it's on the other side. The core flip, the slime, the glitch pop combo from Flowers, not perfectly executed. It was going to be so good and it was so close. But then it's going to be the slimes that take it down along the bottom. Strike shot whiffed. The Astral Projection comes out. Glitch pop as well, not going to get the connection. Cyber swipe really nicely done, and Flowers is going to send it through, taking a lead for Groundhog.
Good strike boy there on to Julak, and those scenarios where you just put down like a creation and you stuff like put so many hitboxes down, that's the winning condition for the side of Groundhog Day. But now it's really dependent on their ults, and their ults on like 30 second cooldowns, and if you use it like that, that's an offense gone, and now you have to wait probably another 30 seconds to get even a chance to look at the barrier. But these barriers are falling like they're falling so fast that Yin Kirby and Julak are just gonna score before Flowers has a chance to even do something.
Yeah, I mean, there's a really nice setup there from Julak and Yin Kirby, and of course Yin Kirby the one to execute on the double. And there we go, the Ensnare Drums comes out again to keep it forward, the Missile Prop as well, and the Pendulum Swing, core and goalie both. You don't want to be seeing that if you're a fan of Groundhog, but if you're a fan of Koyo, that is exactly the kind of plays you're looking for. No loss of stacks or anything on the Atlas at the very least, no stacks on stacks picked up there, but even still, it's a brutal mental blow on that front. Flowers core flipping a little too early as well, but this time Yin Kirby not getting the angle to the top of the barrier, does get the first barrier, the second one blocked by a really nice slime from Sphinx there. Aspiration comes out as well, Cyberswipe down to the bottom, Slime winning the strike war. One barrier is the price to pay on the other side for now. Flowers trying to keep it in this corner, but Julak is just immediately dashing in there, making sure that this core is able to be cleared out, and just a lot of really nice ability layering as well. Slime is going to take the barrier, the Firewall Sentry putting a lot of pressure as well on the defense of Koyo, but strike shot from Atlas helping out as well. The Slime's up to the top, intercepted Beelzebub, a really nice prime there just to make sure that the ricochet is controlled. Yin Kirby winning a strike core in front of the barrier again. Julak with the core flip going down to Yin Kirby, intercepted really nicely there by Sphinx. Flowers core in front of the goal is going to miss a little bit unfortunately there, and Aspiration comes out, is another whiff, unfortunately. Sphinx trying to get something done at the bottom. Glitch pop strike is really nice, and actually finds it through both Julak and Beelzebub. Yin Kirby as well on the bottom there. Flowers basically winning a 1v3.
Yeah, that's there in that open net. A really lucky interaction there, and that's maybe that all Groundhog needs to take over this game, and it's looking really good, but this core speed coming out from Julak and Yin Kirby might be that. Oh, swipe flip, cyber swipe doesn't kill. And that was maybe their chance, but one barrier falls, and it's looking really good for the side of Groundhog here.
That it is. And Koyo, I mean, we've seen a lot of aggression out of them, but at this point, not quite the same consistency in it. We have a couple of moments, but not the overwhelmingness of especially that last set. Sphinx going to whiff a strike there, unfortunately, a little bit of an Aimee shock on that one, but it does happen. Nice hook from Yin Kirby, forces out the core flip from Jewish Asian. That's a big cooldown there. It's going to be a while before that's back up. Yin Kirby close to his own core flip there, Great usage of the core flip from Beelzebub. Yinkerby trying to stun up the goalie, but a great Conjuring Expanse from Jewish Asian is going to mean that the barrier still stands for now. Core flip instantly used, and that is going to be the goal opened up. Julek not able to strike war versus Flowers this time, though, but it's going to be the whiplash from Yinkerby that sends it through Jewish Asian, tying up the set 2-2 and putting Koyo 1 point away from their first game in the series.
These builds are a bit disturbing. Yinkerby has double-sized Firefly. He's getting kittened by Julek and Beelzebub, and that's all. The Atlas cooldown doesn't matter if you have so much speed, just cover all the space that once the ball gets out. And like look right here, he gets the first barrier, he has all the speed, and now the team player just gets the ball up, and now he has another interaction going. And he's coming down, doing all the Rasmus things, just striking the ball, using the slick kick speed, and it's really hard for a Jewish Asian to get anything done as a lockdown goalie if Yinkerby just has 5-6 chances every single time, and the cooldowns are gonna run out, but the devious flip angle from Flowers trying to pull something out of the bag. It is set point for them. And oh my gosh, strike one win for Flowers, gets it done. And now it's set 5, AJ. It's looking really interesting here.
Yeah, I mean, not as dominant from Groundhog as we've seen in Koyo's wins, but a win is still a win. That set still feels really good. Aimee has the option to take another spark, stacking up every single spark that's available, because of course leadership was out of the pool already. But that is so many stats on this Aimee. I think that's something to be wary of, but it is also going to be bulk up going the way of the Rasmus, so a little bit more health, a little bit more power, nothing to scoff at either.
Last pick of the draft. You see, as the #1 ad rush enjoyer, I would say that you do not pick a hero because you are not finding kills and it's a speed game. And it's looking at it. The bulk up from Yinkerby is really good. It's allowed them to spark it. But that's the triple spark on the side of Flowers is allowing them to find kills like that. And now they have a power play and they can actually do something about these stacks. They can kill them and just have a power play and put all the pressure on the side of Koyo here.
Yeah, 158 power on that Aimee. The speed as well stacking up from stacks, so nothing to scoff at there. Trying to go for another kill onto Julek there, but was a little far on that one. Jewish Asian getting tagged by Beelzebub, just a friendly little goalie hello from the other side. The strike shot as well, the firewall sentry putting in the work, though, making sure that the core flip is open, but Sphinx just barely doesn't find the angle, so the goal is open, but it will still stand for now. Yinkerby trying to get the line of the pendulum swing, isn't quite going to get it. A great manual redirect from Sphinx on the slime. Flowers as well with the cyber swipe, the glitch pop, the astral protection, everything being used, but not quite getting the goal just yet. Beelzebub on the defense, of course, has been solid, and Yinkerby finds his bottom corner that he's been using so well this entire game. There you go, Julek sends up the pass to Kirby. Kirby gets it done there, and Snare Drum's just barely not going to get triggered there, unfortunately for Beelzebub. Pendulum swing also not going to hit quite as well as Yinkerby wanted to. Proximity drone also denied, so a great shutdown from Groundhog, and the defense is going to start going the other way, or the offense is going to start going the other way now, as a lot of these cooldowns have been invested from the side of Koyo. Core flip as well from Beelzebub, but does still have that Mako passive. Strike shot counter from Jewish Asian, beautiful, but the glitch pop cyber swipe from Flowers is similarly so, and that's a power play as well. The core is going all over the place. Using the secondary from Alice is really nice for the speed, and that's a great pass up to Flowers. I believe it was a glitch pop self pass. I don't know if Sphinx actually touched that one there, but even still, it was a great try on Sphinx to get there, just to make sure that things go well. And again, Groundhog taking a lead in the set. They're looking a whole lot better, and they're looking to maybe take the game when, I mean, Koyo was looking so dominant for so long.
Jewish Asian, like I said before in previous games I've cast with him, ice cold in his base, lockdown goalie, beast mode. And a good kill for Flowers, the Bloom of Doom. That's all they needed. Double barrier falling for the side of Koyo, and now Sphinx and Flowers are pushing up in the mid lane, and oh my god, they almost strike away on the perfect pitch and the slot up for Flowers with the cyber swipe. And it's looking like cinema, AJ. They brought this back.
Yeah, Flowers locking in on that one. I mean, especially with all the extra cooldown, the speed, the power from those sparks helping so much. But I think it's also just like the mental buff from that last set, from winning it and being able to go forward with a little bit more confidence on this one, a little bit more ego even, dare I say it, on some of these plays. But it's paying dividends. And one of the things is when you have that cooldown advantage, you can just invest abilities so much more freely. You can take barriers with the cyber swipe. You don't have to be worried about when it's going to come up, because it's going to come up in just a few seconds even. Jewish Asian with the secondary there is really nice to keep it forward. Use the ult as well, just to make sure that people are staying alive far afield. Sphinx jumping up to the top to get a Flowers glitch drop is going to get countered by a really nice ensnare drum from Beelzebub, and this could be the opportunity that Koyo is looking for to send it forward and just take control of the game. But Flowers is going to say no with the core flip as well, trying to go for a glitch drop angle. I love the vision, but unfortunately it's not going to come true this time. Flowers a little bit too much ego on that one, but will also whip the strike there. Almost had the opportunity in Kirby now with the core flip on the other side of the map, looking to take advantage of this, but Flowers glitch drop going up to the top, seen by Beelzebub, pass down to the bottom. The secondary as well is really nice, and Koyo is maintaining control here until right then. Flowers up at the top here has the glitch drop once again with the Firewall Sentry, with the Cyber Swipe, and it's all just a distraction. It's going to coast into the bottom of the goal to secure Groundhog the game. Beautiful distraction there by Flowers.
Yep. Groundhog Day came back from it would look like a really hard position with Flowers. The Bloom of Doom gets it done on the Ivy Ford, and Koyo looked really good in the beginning sets. They had the speed, but then the spikes kind of came in the back, and Jewish Asian he kind of just locked in. I won't lie. Yeah, he had all the cooldowns, and in Kirby couldn't do what he was the Rasmus things he was known for, and a little bit falters on the defense of those last points for Koyo, but I mean, well played for both teams. That was a really good game to kick this losers finals off.
Yeah, I mean, Flowers did really put in so much work there as well. I mean, I don't want to glaze too much, but it was a very clear shift in some of those sets when Flowers was locked in. You know, I don't want to put too much, we're talking about the defense of Koyo. It's hard to put that defense into action when we saw Flowers using the entire kit every few seconds off of those sparks. It's just so difficult to contend with. So I'm looking forward to see how these teams go forward, and looking forward to see if sparks get denied or if someone is able to triple stack sparks again, because that is generally not the best drafting strategy.
Yeah. That game looks so good for Koyo. Trying to just slip through their fingers at the end. Like you said, AJ Cannon, the mental is so important in these games, and just giving any sliver of hope for any of these teams is all they need to bring this back. It's not about it's a balance of awakenings, how you play mechanically, but the mental. All three form a triangle, and you need to balance all this to be successful in these playoffs.
Yeah, it really is a game of balance. And that's, I talk about the different stages of the game, but, going into late game NASA, which is almost early game Nassel, you really need to have a balanced team. You really need to have these kinds of things. And it's the same thing as well for NAST to NASA. There's a lot of teams moving up through the ranks that are really good at one thing. But that's not enough to get to this point in the tournament. You really need to show that you have what it takes to balance all the different facets of the game. And, I mean, wasn't a perfect balance from Groundhog. They did have some moments. They did have some weaknesses. Like I was saying, every time that Koyo took a set, it was dominant. Those two sets that they took felt like the game wasn't even going to be close. Groundhog, a lot more scrappy, dare I say a lot more sloppy in it, but if that's what gets the job done, then that's what gets the job done. They're able to take the goal in the end. They're able to get things done. They're able to take us to the second game here, potentially a game 3 if Koyo can lock back in on this. But it's going to take a bit of a lock-in after not really a throw per se, but you were very far ahead on Koyo, and losing those last two sets is not an easy thing to get over.
It was all about the stacks, I will say. Stacks kept constantly being reset, and now they're on the even playing field. If the speed, like the Juno, obviously are not having stacks, they had the jump, they had the Dash Awakening jump, and that's all they need. And if everyone is on the even playing field, is the cooler heads prevail. And eventually on that last set, the mental reset, everyone was feeling good on the side of Groundhog Day, and they just got a few picks, a few kills, and the power play literally just sent Koyo on the back foot, and that's all they needed for the score.
Yeah. And that is, again, one of those things, the back foot, you cannot, they're on the back foot going into this game, let me rephrase that, where they have to lock in, they have to correct that, and that's not an easy thing to do. Tilting is often a very negative spiral. As soon as one thing happens, it's, oh, we're ahead, but it doesn't matter because we were ahead last time. Even if you manage to get over it a little bit, there's always a little bit of something in there that's still trying to drag you down, so you really have to be on top of your game and on top of yourself in that to make sure that you don't fall victim to that. And I think, it does seem like Beelzebub, Kirby, and Julek have a lot of synergy there that can help with that. Because one of the big things is your team helping you to overcome that, to, look at your team and say, I can't let these guys down, or it's all right. We know that we're better than these people. We can just beat them. That's a classic, sometimes copium, but it's one of my favorite things to do is just say, we're better than them. We win these. Don't worry. Can be a total blatant lie where we're against, like, when I was in like Diamond and we're against like a pro league team, and it's like, we got this. Don't worry. We gap them any day of the week. They just don't know. They don't know our names yet, but they will. So all different strategies that they can use to come back in this one. But it is going to actually be the Juno ban from Koyo going onto Oni Village, not letting Sphinx have that comfort pick, which is, I think, a bit of an interesting one to leave the Imi on the field, but I don't think it's as common on Oni Village, so maybe they're just playing into sort of the map meta on that one.
I mean, Ras was banned for the Sonic Groundhog Day, showing respect to Ian Kirby for that pick. He's not, I won't say it's one trick, but that's his strongest pick by far. And they first picked Dubru on it's gonna be melee goalie face off, yippee, on Oni Village. We're gonna be here for a long one, and if both goalies just play solid, that's gonna be very hard to break these walls. You have so many cooldowns. You pick Baldrin's Dubru, you just with size, like how are you gonna score on this guy?
Yeah, it is pretty difficult at times, but I feel like these teams do have the technique. Of course, there is the all-holy triangle to set up there and go around him. Very difficult to do even still, especially against a solid goalie player. But even still, I think it'll be done eventually. I think they can do it eventually. We might just be here for, a solid 30-minute game here. I mean, especially when it's Timeless Creator on that Dubu. Can also go the way of the Demolitionists with the Pauldrons as well. So could either go size or creation size and just have the duration of the creation. Even if it does sometimes backfire, I think it's still a fairly solid pick on that one. But I'm looking forward to see what these teams have. I mean, there is, of course, on the other side with the midfield, you have the Estelle. Midfield forward combo, the Estelle Julie versus the Imi Drakkar, and Imi can really go either way, and I feel like that's potentially Groundhog playing into some of those strengths and just saying, we can rotate a little bit, we can have our midfield rotate a little bit forward to play more forward, and on a map like Oni Village, where you're trying to get that triangle set up, you don't necessarily have the perfect midfield in the middle and forward up front. Sometimes you do need to flex it around a little bit, and I think that comp does give them that option very nicely.
Going into this game, I'm gonna predict, AJ, that this game is gonna probably be, if it's close, 30 minutes. I honestly think we're gonna be here for a long time, and it's gonna be peak, because melee goalie face off with Imi forward trying to score with a dash, but as long as they just stuff the ball. I can't even say anymore. This is just going to be a long Oni game.
It might well be, and especially if this is Groundhog going for the bracket reset victory, like I know they're trying to. Well, the TOs might be crying just a little bit, because that's going to be potentially a 30-minute Oni game, which is going to take us way over time, and then to potentially a bracket reset. So we do see, though, the start of this, pretty nice within 8 seconds, one barrier going down. Of course, it's the all-important second barrier on Oni that really matters, but I like to think at least that first barrier going down is a sign of a nice, quick game, even if it is just a lot of a bit of copium.
As you saw, the Timeless Creator Atlas Expanse just stuffed out a Drakkar shotgun and an Ivy Dash, and that's literally just their scoring tools, the shotgun or the Ivy Dash, and Alex just stops on that, so they just rotate their cool runs well enough and just don't let the ball get to them. They can just hold forever.
Yeah, and holding forever is looking like what it might be. Of course, it does take a bit of support from the midfield forward to do that, but we are going to see that eventually. Flowers building up to the core flip, though. Beelzebub, though, already has his own. So we're going to see the glitch drop up to the top, but strike shot and the core flip whiff. And unfortunately, Jewish Asian with the funny laugh at himself there. Classic Dubu somersault moment. Piercing shot is going to red cord in overtime, of course. Yas direction is really nicely navigated around. The core flip is forced out. The Dubu wall backwards to protect the goal is a nice bit of tech from Jewish Asian there just to make sure that there's no way it can get around. And unfortunate angling of the pool noodle is going to mean that Julak is going to be the one to get that. Yin Kirby respecting the midfield and not stealing, securing the goal on that one. JA rotating up to the top as well. Piercing shot getting it almost through, but Yin Kirby is going to pick up the bottom barrier there. And there's another first barrier on each side. 7 seconds for 2 barriers. If we extrapolate that, it means the game is going to be over in about 2 minutes.
Yeah. Everyone knows the first barrier is kind of fake on the village. Just stand on the second one, use your devious back pass from Julak. It is just stand on the goal. You can just outstuff everyone. If Julie tries to dash punch you, just throw like a roll or somersault or a wall. And on the side, for the Ivy, if they dash, you just out suspense. But okay, power plays, I will say, are really important, and they're gonna need to abuse this if they want to win here.
Yeah, but Sphinx is running some nice interference on these passes, preventing things from happening, rushing the place that Kirby has to just send the core away early. The dash punch also intercepted. And that is going to mean that we go back into this more sort of neutral play. The Cyber Swipe up to the top, the Firewall Sentry used there, but not angling quite into the barrier there. The flurry comes out, but it's intercepted nicely by Sphinx, who gets it just barely through. The somersault goes wide, but it's okay this time. Barrier, unfortunately for the TOs, still standing, and Yin Kirby able to get it into this corner a little bit. Glitch Pop gets it out. Sphinx up at the top side. This Cyber Swipe, though, going a little wide. Crystal Thorns as well. Passing play here from the side of Groundhog, and they're trying to get the setup with the Molten Bolt, but it's going to be the Tofu Fortress there. Beach Ball Fortress on this one. Beach Ball Bastion on that one. As we see the strike shot dribble there from Jewish Asian. Not quite gotten, but the regular strike is enough. The Cyber Swipe gets it through Beelzebub on that one, though. The dash punch not secured by Yin Kirby. Firewall Sentry is really nice there, countering out the piercing shot as well. Core Flip from Flowers not perfect, a little bit rushed, unfortunately. Crystal Thorns countered. Shotgun as well comes out. Cyber Swipe from Flowers, though, is enough to seal the deal. And, well, we have a tie on our hands. It's going to be a bit of a long one.
Yep. Okay. The Flowers has a clear win condition. Just keep track of that Atlas secondary and just Imi dash on repeat when he doesn't have it. And they did it twice in a row and they scored. So they just need to do that 8 more times and you can get out of this match into another map without melee goalies, which is probably not going to happen because that's all these players play. So fingers crossed. We're going to here for a short game or we're going to here for a 30-minute heater.
Yeah, and if we are there for a 30-minute heater, do keep in mind it might go to a game 3. So once again, TOs might be in shambles just a little bit. Piercing shot comes out though. Firewall Sentry once again. Nice setup from Flowers to keep in this corner, but Julak does have to spend a lot of the health bar on it, but will make sure that Beelzebub doesn't even have to contest for the clear there. It's taken care of even before it gets to him. We do love our midfielders that do that for us. Cyber Swipe though with a strike behind it is enough to get the second barrier. Strike shot, pool noodle, all going to go wide, but Sphinx is there to run interception. Piercing shot doesn't get the connection. Pass up to Sphinx, who's very low, has to use the core flip there, using invisibility with the the invisibility there and the shotgun, so much used there. Cyber Swipe, core flip from Beelzebub, the Cosmic Expanse as well. So many things. Firewall Sentry at the bottom. Can it get it done? No, with strike shot from Beelzebub. Glitch Drop prediction is unfortunately incorrect. Beelzebub getting the read on the read. Piercing shot over to Yin Kirby. Yin Kirby trying to run forward now, but now he has to run backwards. Now he has to run forwards. He has to keep going back and forth because that is what the core is doing. He has to follow along. The core flip, though, from Flowers up at the top. Gets it through and takes a 2-1 lead in the set.
Yep. Cyber Swipe, the win condition instead of Gunhigh Day is really proving its worth, and this is literally just what you have to do. Just play. I wouldn't even say play lame. You just play possession till you find out. You just get rid of the Atlas cooldowns, and then hopefully just keep track of it, and then you can just use your Cyber Swipe to take it out and take the barrier, and then there's another barrier. You just hope. You have to hope that the first barrier just falls in some uncanny fashion, and just keep track of the cooldowns. And hopefully, they'll do it so we can get out of this game real quick.
We can certainly hope for that again. We can also hope for the heater, and so far the game is pretty close. And we're only on the first set, so we don't even have the awakenings for the core speed just yet. So this is about as weak as the players will get. Jewish Asian, though, going to be passing down to Sphinx, trying to get it through Yin Kirby. Not quite the dash punch, get the second barrier there. Comes with Expanse very far forward, keeps it forward. Piercing shot, nice angle, but not perfect angle, and Jewish Asian is able to get the defense on it. Nice evade as well from the flurry. The core flip goes out, countered by a pool noodle, and that's going to be the defense almost succeeding. The Firewall Sentry does get the clear in the end. The core flip comes out and straight through JA. Nicely found by Julak. And unfortunately, Jewish Asian caught to Julakin.
Great joke there, AJ. Oh, that was pretty good. And they're coming back into this neutral state. Just trying to play it slow, get all these cooldowns out. And Flowers does have to flip here, so they could find a cheeky KO, or they could just burn it, and now they have no scoring pressure for the next, 30 seconds. And as the barrier falls, AJ, it's not looking too good for the side of ground there.
Well, you had to say something, because now it's another barrier on the other side. Make that 2. Flowers getting the second one. The Crystal Thorns comes out. The shotgun not going to get the connection. We have another lineup. The piercing shot does get it, so now it's open goals on both sides. And Sphinx, no goalie orb there. J.A. Manchin on that one. Of course, there is one core flip on the field. It's on the side of Koyo with Beelzebub. It's going to go immediately as soon as I start talking about what an advantage that is. So that is now the opportunity to score. Astral Projection, though, does get the clear. Yin Kirby trying to win a strike war, but unfortunately Sphinx does have the shotgun, does have the strike, and does have just the patience to win that out. They're trying to get the setup with the shotgun there as well, but it's not quite enough. The glitch drop doesn't get a perfect connection, sends it up into the neutral space, and we're going to stall the point out for a little bit longer. Yin Kirby almost gets a pass, but was a little bit too low on it. Piercing shot a little bit too early as well. Rose Warp comes out, shotgun comes out, core flip comes out as well. Firewall Sentry, Crystal Thorns, every single ability in the game is being used. Yin Kirby with the core flip does get countered by Sphinx there. Flowers trying to get something done. Piercing shot countered by a log. Beautiful reaction there by JA on that one. And we are seeing the teams trying to get things set up, but they're just not able to get the setup that they need. Flowers almost getting into the goal, and there we go. Does get it in the end. Dribbled off the top corner once and then puts it through, and Koya was not expecting that one. Groundhog is the one to take the lead, and JA is the one to get the MVP with a lot of options there. Could take the Might of the Colossus for the extra power, could also take the Hot Shot, especially away from the Estelle for all the extra core speed and cooldown reduction, but it's going to be Twin Drive, denies it away from the Atlas, and I think that's a fine pick as well.
I mean, double cooldowns to the side of Koyo, Hot Shot, Prime Time, and hey, this is really, these drafts are really good for both sides. Everyone got what they wanted, but I do want to point out, again, the Hot Shot, Prime Time, the double trouble. I mean, Estelle's going to have much more core speed to get around everyone with the ball up. And Atlas has more cooldowns to hold it down against Flowers, whose only win condition is either Omni Turret or Cyber Swipe.
Yeah, but we have one barrier again going down almost a second, but there is the second. Nice Cyber Swipe combo there. But yeah, no Twin Drive on the Saimi, no Prime Time on the Saimi, so is going to be at a bit of a cooldown deficit, unlike the end of last game where we saw Flowers with a massive lead with the Triple Spark. But Invisible Sphinx running up, and the Cyber Swipe kill with the core as well. Flowers finding a nice angle as Beelzebub was just not paying attention to that one, was not seeing it coming, and I mean, it's hard to when it's the Aimi that just picked up Explosive Edge. I think he's going to be a little bit more wary of that one in the future, because now, of course, the kill range has expanded both in where you can be and where Aimi can send it from. Flurry is really nice, but doesn't quite get the job done. The Beach Ball Bastion is also going to be used. Julak with a nice dribble against the back wall and also sends it forward. Flowers sending the Glitch Pop forward. The Molten Bolt is well used, but one of the Astral Projections is down. That's going to be the kill flip onto Estelle, and suddenly Oni Village is a kill map. And we're starting to see Groundhog running away with the power plays, getting the second barrier there. Yin Kirby with a really nice dash punch does buy so much time. And now Julak is back on the field. The core flip does get sent forward, but Jewish Asian is aware of it. Unfortunately, Sphinx does whiff the core flip there. And we see Flowers trying to get a dribble there with the glitch pop as well. Piercing shot gets it forward. Yin Kirby wins that strike war, but not enough to get it through JA, who is, again, solid on this defense. Both of these melee goalies, of course, are very good at what they do. Firewall Sentry trying to send it through the Cyber Swipe, not enough this time, but does force out the core flip there. Rose Warp as well, and we're just passing the core back and forth again in the neutral territory. The shotgun gets it through. I'm about to stop talking so I can hand it over and actually get a break, but then immediately it explodes. Cyber Swipe gets used, and finally, some passing play happens, and we're going to settle in just a little bit.
I would like Dean Kirby to sit on Dubu a bit more because he's trying to play in this mid space and hoping the ball gets to him. But you do have to play a bit lame here, so you just hope that the ball will get to you and just dash punch or make the most of it. Oh, see? I speak it into existence. They stand near the Dubu, hope the ball gets to him, and they score.
The cardinal sin of Dubu goalie rolling horizontally. It is just so unfortunate when it whiffs, and unfortunately for Jewish Asian, it did whiff there. Great angle off of the beach balls, but not enough to get the barrier with a solid defense from Beelzebub on that one. Firewall Sentry not getting a connection as well, just being dribbled completely around. And that is a very unfortunate usage there, but the glitch pop is really clean to get the first barrier. The second one, though, not going to be quite so easy, even if it wasn't that easy to begin with.
And Kirby with the flip. Looking really dangerous. The double trouble flip inside of Koyo. A bit too fast in that play. They had to get a bit closer because Dubu is big and he can just strike the ball really easily around them. They try to look at kill for Sphinx, but they disregard the core. Sphinx is down and out. What comes out from Drulak. What comes out for Flowers. A good strike from Usual to get the core out from the mud. Has the flip here coming in. Drulak with the piercing shot and the layer from Yin Kirby with the punch. We'll get that goal for Koyo, and yeah, I think that the shift is happening here, AJ. That they're gonna change the game plan and put it to effect.
There might be a bit of a shift happening, but not if Flowers can help it, but so far she can't. Not going to be able to get either of those barriers despite the flashy plays, despite the glitch pops and the cyber swipes and everything invested there, and the Crystal Thorns from downtown is going to be what gets that first barrier up the point. Piercing shot keeps it forward as well. Yin Kirby trying to find this angle, does get the punch, but JA is on top of things. Cyber swipe gets it forward, glitch pop does not, unfortunately. Beach ball is stuck in the corner that's going to phase through with a little bit of that Dubu particle quantum magic. And we see, again, the course settling down. A little bit of a different time this time where the barriers are on the same side rather than diagonal opposites. But with these teams, it's still very similar. They're going to look to try and get the clear sort of up and around so that they can not have it in danger. But the glitch pop right through Beelzebub is perfect. The flurry comes out. The Rose are countered by a pool noodle once again. Strike shot comes out. The core flip from Flowers a little bit too early. Did stun up Yin Kirby at the very least to get a little bit of space. But space is not what you need. You need the goal. And Flowers finds the goal in the end. Nicely found again. This ability from that explosive entrance on the IME to just teleport from so much further and do just that little bit more damage has just been paying dividends.
Okay. The entry economy is really looking good for the side Koyo. An interesting play from Beelzebub doing the primary strike shot that, oh my god. Beelzebub has to lock in, and Yin Kirby's picking up the slack with the core flip kill. And now power play for the side of Koyo. And they're trying to keep possession here, play it slow. But I think that's what they really want from the side of Groundhog Day. As they get a reversal here, barrier falls. Cyberstar comes in with the glitch pop. Great play for Flowers. It's a 2-0 lead for the side of Groundhog Day, and this is not how I thought it would be closer, especially with IP fucking Brawler getting it done. And now they have the pick of the litter, extra special, Fireflight, size. A lot of things are good here for IB.
Yeah, there are a lot of good things. It's going to be the extra special in the end. I think it's a really good pickup with the Firewall Sentry, just being able to use it that much more. Definitely not a problem there, but that doesn't mean that Monumentalist falls to Atlas, which is going to be a bit of a contender, especially when he already has that timeless graders. These secondaries are going to be massive, which is, well, terrifying, because I'm pretty sure it will now cover the entirety of a barrier if he stands just about anywhere on it. He can reach anywhere else on it. It's a lot harder to just go around him. But, of course, Glass Cannon Dubu, that Dubu on ice is similarly really nice for him. And, of course, extra special, I mean, nothing to be scoffed at. A lot of damage, a lot of control coming out there. Julak almost dead, so is Yin Kirby. It's a lot of health damage just off the start of this point. But so far, they're not quite able to get a handle on that and make sure those health bars stay low. They get the barrier, though, and that's a pretty good consolation prize as well. If you can't get the kill, I'd take a goal any day. But one barrier traded back, so not a goal just yet. Koyo still in this one, and the cyber swipe not getting the connection. Flowers was hoping to get a pass down to the bottom there, but it was intercepted. JA using the noodle up at the top there, but not going to be able to get the clear. Nicely done. Clearing down to the bottom is nice. To a bit of neutral space, buys a little bit more time, gets the clear in the end. Cyber swipe not perfect that time. Beelzebub, but walking back just a little bit to dodge out of that one. The glitch pump not all the way down to the bottom either. The strike whiffed as well, and we can start to see some of the fatigue getting to some of these players where they're whiffing a few abilities there, but also they're locking in twice as much. The core flip forced out the firewall, some of the astral projection, so many abilities used. Cyber swipe and the shotgun. Nicely played by Groundhog there. Cyberswipe gets the kill on the goalie, and Sphinx puts it through with the shotgun, even as Julak is sitting there in the firewall sentry trying to do just about anything with a dwindling health bar.
Looking really good here for the side of Groundhog Day. The Spirit Falls, and it's looking really solid team play for Groundhog Day. They both have the flips here. They're going to look to collapse on this barrier right now with the Tofu Fortress, with the Atlas Expand, locking it down there. And the Rivers might come out for it, but no kill onto Flowers, and back to the neutral state, and it's looking really good here. They're playing it slow, playing it to strengths of the Jakar Aimee, how unconventional it is, and good strike boy, it will get the goal, but the kill comes out, and now match point for the side of Groundhog Day, and Koyo really needs to find something here to dig this out of the mud.
Yeah, and I mean, what deep mud it is on this one. You don't even have a set yet, and the enemy team is on that match point. 2 sets, 2 points. Definitely not a comfortable place to be. Beelzebub playing super far up as well to try and get something done in this last barrier. And for now, they do have the advantage, but they've had to use a lot of abilities for it. And abilities do tend to slightly favor the side of Groundhog Day with that extra special Aimee turret that can just put so much work in. And as well, that first barrier going down now, the intercept on the core flip from Sphinx is really nice. Again, Kirby trying to get things done with the dash punch, does find an angle, also finds an angle inside the Aimee turret, getting bounced all around there. Glitch Pop trying to help out, but in the end, the clear is completed successfully. A lot of damage on Yin Kirby is going to be forced to use the core flip there. The ult from Atlas is really nice and gets a ton of healing out, but the goal is still not scored just yet, and the angle is not very easy to find on this one. It's very difficult for Koyo to find their in on this goal with just how oppressive Sphinx and Flowers have been before you even can get to JA on that defense. So pass up from Flowers to Sphinx, the glitch pop down to the bottom just to catch a clear, just in case the cyber swipe to finish it off, and Flowers has been doing that play so consistently for the last few times. And that's going to be Groundhog taking Game 2 and taking the series in fairly fine fashion after a little bit of a dicey start in Game 1.
Really solid play for the side of Groundhog Day, punching the ticket into Grand Finals against guys on the winner side, freaking esports. Really solid here. And unfortunately, that'll be the end of the playoff run for the side of Koyo. Third place. And just looking back on this game, Flowers has 7 goals with the 2 assists, 30k damage, the most in the lobby, and the redirects on her team. And Flowers kind of just put it on the backpack, locked in, and said, okay, I'm going to play for Aimee Cyber Swipe, and just keep track of all the cooldowns and make sure that all the interactions I do are in winning positions. And I got to make the most, especially with Atlas. And the JA really exposed, not even exposed, he played to his strengths in Dubu, and he just won as the melee goalie enjoyer, as the 1v1 like lockdown goalie. He just didn't let Inkobi do much, and they just allowed Flowers to do her work, her job of just scoring and making the most.
Yeah, and it was, you know, a couple of dicey moments, a couple of funny ones there, but in the end it was JA locking it down, Sphinx helping on the lockdown, that enabled the Flowers to play so much further up and use so many abilities further up, and just make sure that it's that team trust that really enables these kinds of plays that you love to see at this level, where a lot of these plays are quite dumb if you don't have the trust in your team, if you don't have the faith that your team has your back, because a lot of them, they leave the map open, they leave open spots, they leave places where people can go through, but in the end, the trust in the team is what does it. Koyo, unfortunately, is going to end here, and Groundhog, like their namesake, is going to be returning to the upper bracket there, and they're going to be going to the grand finals to face down with frickin' esports. And it's going to be a bit of a fun time. Probably some Aimee bans or picks in that one, so stay tuned for that one. But that will be all for now. Big Tilt, any last words?
Not much. I'm looking forward to seeing this grand finals, and it was a pleasure casting with you.
You as well. That'll be all. See y'all later.
Hello, everybody. We are here. The final day of the NAS Season 6 is upon us. The final series potentially here in Grand Finals of the North American Strikers League training grounds. I am so excited to be here, joined by Big Tilt, as I had the stream sound open, so I had to listen to myself for a moment. But before we get into Grand Finals, we do have some important news to share. The North American Strikers League training grounds All-Pro has come in, and I am very excited to share our kind of up-and-coming members of the OS community. We're going to be going through all the All-Pro teams, going to go through Rookie of the Season, and our MVP of the season. So we'll get started with that right away. And then afterwards, we've got Grand Finals, GOG versus freaking Esports. Both of these teams have clawed their way through first seed to get here. They are absolutely the ones to be deserving to get a shot here at the top spot.
Looking good here, as I'm really interested in seeing freaking Esports versus Groundhog Day. I mean, the goalies. Goalie Storm. He is my ISS teammate. We did win ISS recently.
W.
Yeah, I gotta put the W. Water. But yeah, I might be a bit biased here on the commentary, but I'll try to keep it level-headed here.
Yeah, and you know what? It's interesting. We got some ISS winners here on the casting desk today. It's quite interesting. You know, I don't know. Weston casted Grands. I'm here casting Grands. Wait, it's a bit of an ISS winner sweep here for Grand Finals casting. Damn. Yeah. I just had to put that out there. You know, I won ISS one time. Anyways, we're going to be getting into our All-Pro. So without any further delay, Sai, if you could bring up the graphics, please. We'll get into that in just a second as soon as I see him. And there he is, the All-Pro team, Andy7675, the man, the myth, though sometimes legend, depending on which way the core bounces. Going to be your All-Pro third-place goalie. Julak going to be your midfielder here for All-Pro as well, playing absolutely amazing on Koyo. And then following up, it's a bit of a freaking esports show up here for Sero, going to be your third place brawler in the All-Pro.
Yeah. All three players on this third team have all been around the block here, and it's really showing the diligence to this game, because everyone single player has been playing in this NAST league for a pretty long time, and it's just showing the fruits of the labor that they can finally make something, get these achievements, and just show off how really skilled they are in this league.
Yeah, absolutely. Huge W's to all of them as well. And moving on here, we'll get our All-Pro second place coming up here in just a second. It's going to be Asianator, your second place All-Pro goalie. Cragley following it up in the midfield. My former teammate on the Warlords, the Moon Warlords, Nikki Minilin from the Handless Dogs, going to take the brawler spot here for All-Pro second place.
Cragley did show up a lot in the playoffs, had a really good, interesting series against Ferret, and Nikki Minilin, Asianator, did really solidly in these leagues. Asianator known for his Finny, the Dubru, and Nikki Minilin known to getting it done for the Handless Dogs with that brawler pick, with that Rasmus with the X, and just showing their prowess on their roles, and congratulations to them.
Absolutely. Well-deserved. And finally, our All-Pro first place team going to be showing up in just a second here. Beelzebub, I think, absolutely earning that place. Koyo's goalie in second place. In midfield at first place, Jack Limestone, there with his signature Estelle pictured. And finally, Overgrown Lemon, the ace of Ferret, the legend maker himself, the scorer, the Juliet Mastermind, a well-deserved first place ballot as well. From all three players, to be completely honest, they've all had a fantastic season.
Beelzebub, known for his melee goalie picks, the Mako, the Atlas, getting it done in the goal box. Jack Limestone, known for his Estelle pick, but he can pilot anything from Aimee, Vice, now, really solid in the midfield. And my personal favorite on this All-Pro first team, the Julie player, the squeezer, the juicer, the one that gets it done for Ferret, Overgrown Limit 5. Right. Congratulations to each one of these players who made any team, and That's a really good achievement for them to make these all-pro teams, and just shows how well dedicated they are to this game.
Yeah, 100%. All of these players are players to be looking out for in our coming seasons as well. Now, though, a big award, I think probably the most important for the North American Strikers League Training Grounds Rookie of the Season. It's coming up in just a second. Overgrown Lemon 5 absolutely earns it. Again, the star, the light that is Furret, which I think shone so brightly throughout the season. So many amazing scoring plays, mechanical mastermind himself, and an absolute well-deserved representative here for Juliet on this vote. So shout out to Overgrown Lemon 5 again. Juices are here. They're here with no pulp. I can't think of any puns, but congratulations to this guy. It is absolutely well earned.
The Squeezer carrying his team throughout playoffs, and just the monk mental in the waterfall lays dormant until set 5, and then he unlocks his true potential and releases all the demons onto the core strike fields and dash punches everyone and gets it done. Well deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. Overgrown Lemon set 5 magic came out here so many times this season, and that's going to be our Rookie of the Season. Congratulations again to this player. And moving on, though, for potentially the most prestigious award of the NAS, going to be the MVP for Season 6 NAST. Bring it up in just a second. It's going to be Overgrown Lemon 5. It's a bit of an Overgrown Lemon 5 sweep. I'm just as surprised as you are, but most likely the most beloved player in this league, Rookie of the Season, most valuable player, first place All-Pro. It might just be Overgrown Lemon 5. Absolutely well played to the man. It's a shame that he could not have made it here to this day number 2, but it is an absolutely deserved victory. It's an Overgrown Lemon 5 sweep. Overgrown Lemon 5 out of 5 here on the day. And congrats again to that player. Well earned. It was absolutely a pleasure to watch and cast this man throughout the regular season. So high hopes for this man coming in to future seasons and future games of the NAS.
Really looking forward to see how far it does in the future. I mean, the sky's the limit with this guy. He can basically do everything. He can carry his team, he can take over the game, and when you need a goal, he's going to get it for you. So really, really putting his back on for his team, and being the Julie player, as Julie One Tricks, I commend him. And this guy, he can do anything. And if you just believe in it, you'll get it done.
Yeah. 100%. And hey, I feel like if what he could do on Juliet, he could do on any character. I think the sky's the limit, definitely speaking. So again, congrats to Overgrown Lemon 5 yet again. 3 gold awards for this man from the North American Strikers League Training Grounds. Well played to him. And finally, after that is going to be the end of our All-Pro ballot. We're going to be getting into grand finals the North American Strikers League Training Grounds Season 6. Freaking esports are going to be taking on Groundhog Day in the final series here of the season. We'll see what they have to give to us here.
Looking at these maps right now, Groundhog picked with the first picking Night Market, freaking esports, going on to the IMES app. And if it goes to game 3, we're going to the Splash Zone. Water cannon, a lot of fun, a lot of diversity. Allows for many different playstyles here. You can play core control, you can play damage, but I know for the side of freaking esports, they're gonna lean heavily into that damage comp.
Yeah, 100% agreed. Night Market to start us out. We saw a lot of that actually in the grand finals of NASL and NASA, and it's going to be coming back again for NAST. So a bit of a Night Market sweep, high presence here in all of these series. And I think that makes me think about what players like Flowers are going to bring to the table. I think she's a huge fan of a lot of these ranged brawlers in the IME, in the Luna, and I'm wondering if Night Market is going to be able to enable that sort of play style, or if Hamster Quest, who's been around forever and has a bit of a champion Ocean, is going to be able to bring out the Juliet, the X, those sort of picks that have been in Night Market staples here at the end of this season. So I'm quite curious to see how draft is going to go for both of these teams.
Yeah. coming into this draft right now, we have Glass Cannon Hotshot, Juno and Ruin Band coming for both sides, and Estelle, Julie, Amy for freaking esports. And going for Groundhog Day, you have Jakar, Vice, and Mako to round it out.
Quite interesting here. I think that Juno ban is actually very, very interesting. It's we talked about freaking esports with freaking Chris on that Juno, who had an absolutely explosive performance to get here. But Sphinx, another of those players that really do commend respect on the Juno, is on the other team. So I imagine it's going to be a very hotly contested pick throughout the entire series, but it's really interesting to see freaking esports Bennett on blue. And I think partial reason for that is Sphinx's Drakkar, right? Kind of a old school counter to the pick, and something that Sphinx has been piloting immaculately so far here in playoffs and throughout the regular season. So I guess it just makes sense that you don't want to be the one playing it yourself. You're going to have to just sacrifice that and respect being a Juno, and that might have some repercussions here for character draft later in the series.
I do want to mention that Hamster Quest took Vicious Vambrace, a very unconventional gear awakening for Juliet wall characters. You had to pick the Slicks or the Pummelers, and I'm not sure if this is going to get much value in this matchup with Pat here.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Flowers, obviously a big damage player herself. Being able, just, someone who always wants to look to do out the damage. But on the flip side, yeah, that Drakkar Mako is... I'm not quite sure if they're actually going to be pumping out so much damage to warrant the Vambrace, especially if you could get something like the bulk up or the peak performance, though. As right now, actually, it's kind of looking the exact opposite. Sphinx going to be the one low here, going to be threatened with a KO. A good defense here from the sound of Groundhog Day means that they're going to be able to stay alive coming into overtime. Sphinx with an absolutely huge clear out, but he's going to be knocked away by the cord flip of Storm. Okay, that's a bit awkward, isn't it?
Fitting emotes coming out from Hamster Quest, Dubu Ha and Finny La, and it's just Storm and Hamster Quest and just everyone on the side of Fitting Esports are really playing this well. Just playing it slow, playing to the strengths of the characters with the eject goalie. A much different view that we had from previous games, because everyone loves to play melee goalies in Nasty in the North American Strikers training grounds, but Storm, with his picks, with the eject, with the Luna, with the Vice, with the Ivy, allow him to really push up and really help with the offense for the side of Groundhog Day.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting to see that disparity. Storm, though, with that Glass Cannon eject button, means he's kind of got the best of both worlds, right? The one other pick that we saw a lot coming out from the IME was the Glass Cannon, or sorry, the Momentum Boots, and I mean, Glass Cannon is just kind of mom boots at home, really, right? So Storm's going to be able to play this IME, I think, very effectively, and she's going to be set up, or sorry, the IME is going to be set up here for a lot of success coming into it. And we're already seeing a lot of that, right? Storm accredited with that previous goal. If Flowers is not able to get those consistent chain lightnings onto the enemy goalie, this could be a Storm sweep.
He did just get 2 goals for his team, and now Flowers is looking really low with the flip. They're looking to try to kill her, but with this playing a bet for her life, Flowers is going to get the orb and use the flip to probably score here. But good defense from side Groundhog Day, and just looking. Oh my God, the flip gets taken out, and Flowers is looking low, and now she probably will die in a few seconds.
Yeah, maybe the IME damage is going to be there. Flip exchange, freaking Chris unfortunately gonna whiff. As Flowers desperately trying to stay alive. A bit of an aggressive defense here. Hamster Quest actually gonna be staggered, and we might see some value off the Vicious Vambrace. Flip gonna find a KO. Storm, an amazing angle to open up the net for the side of Groundhog Day. Firewall Sentry comes through. Sphinx has to evade defensively. A good KO by Storm. Freaking Chris now in a 2v1 situation advantage is going to be able to strike it in.
Great corner offense for the side of Groundhog Day, really pinching all the options that the goalie had, that Jason had on that defense. And now, okay, add rush. We could beat it. We could take a third. I'm really looking at this ad rush and they pick it, and it's going to allow them to just sweep everyone and just out-tempo this whole entire game.
Yeah, definitely an interesting relationship between Nasty and Adrenaline Rush is something that a lot of people have avoided, and I'm really curious to see it being picked up. I think this is a good draft. It does give over the prize fighter or specialized training of Flowers, but I think that Vice was getting something good no matter what. So on the flip side, I think Answer Quest with his Vicious Vambrace and the bulk up, basically impossible to kill, I think, for the composition that Groundhog Day has brought out. Obviously save for some crazy Flowers Vice shenanigans.
With this Vicious Vambrace bulk up, now they can just play for... They can't really die to just raw stagger kills. They have to die to like some random Vice shenanigans. Like, okay, I'm gonna walk up to you and primary ult, and hopefully you will die. But Hamster Quest, being around the block so long, they would not fall for those scenarios. And Sphinx is gonna probably die here with the kill confirm. No dice on that punch kill, and now we're back to neutral state, and we're just looking, we'll just settle in, get the orbs, just recollect our thoughts, and oh my gosh, they almost died there.
Yeah, this is so much damage now coming out. On top of that, the Crystallized Thorns was there, stops the regeneration for Sphinx and JA. Now Sphinx going to be the one paying the price for that. Strike War win for Hamster Quest now. Pass up to Storm. The triangle is fully formed. The flip comes through, but Flowers, an amazing supernova to deny it. Almost gets the goalie barrier for her troubles. As we enter overtime here, Storm with the flip. Flowers trying to bait it out, but unfortunately not going to be able to do so. Cyber Swipe comes through, a little bit of damage onto Flowers and gets the core out. Hamster Quest maybe one more opportunity here with a Flame Flurry. No, it actually sails right through two members of Groundhog Day. Sphinx and JA not able to reach it in time. It's going to be freaking esports potentially pulling away here in set number 2.
Hamster Quest really locking down Joyce Asian's options with that Flame Flurry, with the punch, and I've said previously, I really like the Juliet Mako matchup, and Hamster Quest is really exploiting the saving the abilities for the cage. They're getting rid of the speed from the secondary, and now, oh my gosh, 2 evades are gone. The damage might come back to bite freaking esports, but good out from their defense, and oh, unfortunate barrier fall, but we're gonna clean it up and we're gonna go back and probably take the second barrier here.
Absolutely great. Hamster Quest, though, a man on a mission, wins the Strike War, almost gets the goalie barrier, but not able to do so. But he's going to have to support a freaking Chris now, who's made his way up the midfield line. Cyber Swipe Glitch Pop comes through, chunks out Flowers. Sphinx is going to be low as well, but freaking Chris, the one on the chopping block right now, damage-wise. Core going back and forth. Strike Shot able to get a good clear out, but Sphinx is going to have the one with possession. Storm walking forward here with the eject button. Oh no, it's a tragedy, but the Cyber Swipe's going to be there. No, the Glitch Pop is actually what's going to be the one to save it. Flip comes through from Sphinx, and with only 2 members on the board, there's just too many angles that Sphinx could take. Finally, Groundhog Day find themselves on the board.
And Storm played that defense really well. He actually forced Sphinx to use the flip. Like, they didn't falter in front of Flowers, and they have extra specials, so they saved the turret for another offense. And now they're collapsing here on the night market, using the speed gate, trying to get something done here. And, oh, they could have killed Sphinx there, could have punished them from this positioning, coming in with flip on front of the Mako. No dice on that scoring opportunity. Now, coming back here, and they're looking pretty solid. 2 flips coming up for the side of Groundhog Day, but friggin' Chris is forced to evade, and now he's looking to be damaged.
And damage has been rather interesting this game. I feel like we've seen a lot of dash punch kill confirms like that onto players like Sphinx, but on the flip side, because of this Vicious Vambrace and because of freaking Chris's, he's been saving a lot of those blinks for Supernovas. He's not being chunked out. He's unfortunately going to be taken out there, but not really because of stagger, just because of a kind of a combo that hit him. So it's interesting to see, because it feels like Flowers and Sphinx are not able to find a lot of power play opportunities. So right now, all members of freaking esports going to be here on defense as we enter overtime. Strike War win by freaking Chris, but he has to go through another one to win. Cyber Swipe comes through as the power cord unfortunately got a whiff there. The piercing shot sends it up to Hamster Quest, but it's going to be blocked away by JA with drum and bass. Yeah, very awkward bounce here on Night Market. Flip comes through for Flowers. The power cord's there. Hamster Quest winning a crucial Strike War go, gets to clear out. It's freaking Chris, maybe an opportunity, but he's going to be shot and staggered before he can have an offensive power play. The Strike War from Storm is a little dangerous there, but it is able to get the job done. Unfortunately, though, the flip not blocked by the Flame Flurry. 2 points going to be going the way of Groundhog Day.
Oh, Storm is putting a lot of work on both the offense and defense. And he might need a little help here from his teammates because he's doing all he can, putting the turrets down. You really don't want to play defensive with the eject goalie, with the Ivy. You really want to get in there, put your turret down, put all your glitch pop, cyber swipe, all the damage, and all the brawler and midfielder can keep the possession up, so you have cooldowns to keep doing it again. So it's really up to the side of not Groundhog Day, to freaking esports to get this done, to get the cooldowns out, try to pressure the goalie, and just, oh my gosh, I killed my fight. Found it all wrong person. I was looking at the wrong person there, Big Fat, and now power play to the side of Groundhog Day. They're trying to get it done. Storm playing the defense really well, playing calm and collected, and now with the Marco speeds coming in, trying to push the ball up to the side of Groundhog Day, and now we're back. Chris has respawned, and now it's 3-on-3.
Yeah, power play gonna come to an end here. Freaking Chris has some cooldowns, able to get one, flip all but guarantees the second one here. Storm gonna work up, has the cooldowns, a little bit of a scary strike as we enter overtime. Comes through, the cyber swipe is there, the glitch pop's there, the dash punch is there, and the goalie for Groundhog Day is not. 1v1 situation, Sphinx is going to end up losing it, but Flowers has the clear angle, has a flip herself, could go for a miracle shot here, tries to go for it, but Storm reads it. But the piercing shot, utilizing the core speed, is perfect. Sends it right into the goal. They are going to be a tied upset now for both teams.
Wait. The back line on the side of freaking esports, Storm and freaking Chris played that interaction so well. They kept the core speed up and allowed them to get a cheeky slide up on the top side. Now they have a flip, they have all the momentum here, and just trying to really stuff the life out of the Groundhog Day. Just end the set now.
Yeah, that would be a huge win for Groundhog Day to be up 2-0, but that's going to be easier said than done. Open net here, Flowers with the supernova hits two members, but no K is going to be found. Freaking Chris going to be knocked low, however. Dodge to work with is going to be gone. The shotgun prevents the dash punch from finding any victims. The piercing shot doesn't come through to take it, and Flowers, ooh, gotta feel good after that one. Mixes up Storm on the strike timing, gets a wall bounce off of Night Market. That's gonna be a completely dead even game for both teams. JA gonna be your MVP.
Yeah, a lot of good stuff here for the side of Groundhog Day. Mako being first pick here it's not that threatening for their side. They could pick like damage and all that. But Timeless Creator Extra Special Aimi has been picked, and now they have turrets that can just take all the barriers.
On the flip side here, Fight or Flight for Hamster Quest, which I think is going to be so valuable for getting mobility for this Julie, who has not taken the Slick Kigs or the Magnetized Souls or the Pummelers, right? All of these things grant mobility in some way, shape, or form. And Vambrace is the one that doesn't. So this Fight or Flight is going to be well needed. On top of that, obviously getting a dash punch reset, if you get a stagger KO, is going to be very, very nice. But going into game proper here, I think Flower is going to have a pretty strong build for this fight. Can potentially find a lot more opportunities now that she has the Deadeye.
Hamster Quest picking up that Fight or Flight will allow him to have a little bit more speed to keep up, because he is on that Vicious Embrace, and allow him to find damage and just keep up. Because now he has, like you said, Big Bat, now he has the stagger reset. Oh my gosh, the Vice Primary just kills straight up with the Deadeye, and with the double flip to the side. Freaking esports, they can play faster, they play slow, but good flip and good score.
Oh.
That is my ISS goalie. He put the backpack on and he scored. My goat.
Yeah, Storm, well played there, is able to win that interaction. That was looking scary against the Supernova of Flowers. Big point going the way of freaking esports. A crucial set to put any team at a big advantage. Unfortunate mishap does not give freaking esports the barrier. It's going to make them lose one, in fact. But Sphinx going to take a lot of damage for that reward. Hamster Quest almost certainly just waiting for this dash punch opportunity to go through. Doesn't find it, unfortunately. They're a bit awkward, but the goalie barrier does go down in the end. Flip from Hamster Quest immediately canceled out by JA. Punch comes through, blocks the ensnare drums, but the triangle is still here from the side of freaking esports. Now finally going to be cleared. Flowers able to win the strike war against Storm. Sphinx going to get dash punch, but the core goes in the hands of freaking Chris. A corner offense is started. But freaking Chris, no cooldowns here to maybe find the final blow under that goalie barrier. Firewall Sentry also going to be knocked away by JA. The snare drums comes through. Wow, JA is still holding, but the Flame Flurry finally going to guarantee it. Flip comes through from Storm, going to be stuffed out by Sphinx, and the shotgun gets it done. Sphinx credited with the goal. It's a dead even game.
Got caught lacking with that dribble there. Sphinx punishing Storm for that kind of risky defense. And now it's pretty even 1-1. Someone has to make a tempo play, just to take over. And oh, that's it. The tempo has officially been swung. Bring that Awakening back on the low. They have a double barrier, double flip for the side of Groundhog Day. And now they can really just play slow, play for the corner, but not even Storm Eagle, the good defense. Storm Eagle, oh my gosh. The defense from the side of him. Shotgun ends the point, and now Groundhog Day are up, and now they have all the momentum to take this set right now.
Yeah, that was a valiant defense from the side of Frigate Esports, but after a bit of a slog early game, Groundhog Day is going to be the ones advantaged in game number 1. JA gloriously holds on to that first barrier, but Sphinx going to lose his flip and his life in the process. Hamster Quest looking to play corner offense. Flowers with an amazing supernova buys so much space for her goalie, and the power play is all but stalled out. Should it go here? No. Hamster Quest, an amazing strike to end out the power play, opens up the net. Cyber Swipe's there. The Flame Flurry is what secures it, though. Hamster Quest evening up the game for freaking Esports.
Everyone is playing with such confidence that they're not afraid to make mistakes, and they're not afraid to push up, not afraid to just take over this game. And this extra special Timeless Creator turret, this Firewall Sentry, is doing a lot of work, just putting all the pressure. But Flowers gets the kill, has the pummeler speed, but the barrier falls, and now all the momentum is shifted. Storm and Hamster Quest are looking both at flips soon, and they're gonna have to be forced to use it if they don't want to die, but they keep it. They want the ego in, they want to be greedy, and now the defense is being a bit solid here, and we're back to the neutral state.
Agreed. It's been freaking Chris, actually, I think, the victim of a lot of the damage that's been coming out of Flowers and Sphinx, and we've been feeling that. It's like midfield missing a presence from freaking Esports right now, and not really to freaking Chris's own fault. So right now, we are going back into that neutral state. Like you mentioned, going to be a tense 0.5 here on set number 3. Freaking Chris looking to start the corner offense, the Firewall Sentry providing support, but to match that, Flowers with the Supernova forces freaking Chris. Wow, an amazing snipe comes off of JA's flip, gonna open up the net for freaking Esports. The corner here on the bottom has been so bloody, so deadly, but Hamster Quest, a wonderful strike coming through. Storm has flip, the offense might be here. No, has to blow flip defensively. Key point for both teams. The dash punch gonna be stuffed away by the pitch perfect. Now the drum and bass going to be the thing to defend the line. Oh my god. What a slow roller. The angle is perfect, and Storm, despite the glass cannon, cannot find it in time. That is not what you want to see in such a crucial point.
Yeah, unfortunate mishap there, but we're looking at this draft right now, and I'm looking at a certain B. Sting, buzz. You gotta take that stinger. Oh, yeah, they give it up. We take aerials, and now Storm has so much damage. And now they can literally just sit on someone and just damage them. And okay, since P Performance got taken, all Storm needs to do is sit on Jakar. And what's he gonna do? Fight back?
No, absolutely not. No damage, no survivability to his name. On the flip side, though, I think some big pickups to look at. Team player for this Mako, right? Not only is it just generically one of the better awakenings for goalie, but it's doubly so when you have an Aimee goalie. She really does struggle to deal with fast core speeds due to the way that her abilities work. That extra core speed means over time gives Storm less opportunities to come forward, but it's going to be Flowers taking all the credit as I talk about awakenings. That's going to be 1 point in favor of Groundhog Day.
You saw there, Brickbat, that Flowers was pretty low, even with peak performance. There's so much damage on both sides that whoever gets the first kill will probably win this game. And now the Firewall Sentry is putting down, and now they have all the pressure. All the momentum here, double barrier falls for the side of Groundhog Day, and now look at Flowers. She's so low. I mean, she has no speed. She can't really move. Oh, but the perfect pitch doesn't snipe out the barrier. There's so much happening here. Someone's gonna die. Oh my gosh!
Oh my god!
It's a Slobberknocker here with bat.
Oh! Sphinx finds the shotgun. A holy shot to take that goal. And Groundhog Day are going to find themselves on game point after a heater of a second to last point. It's going to be up to freaking esports to be able to defend their position here in winners. A good start as one goalie barrier goes down. Flowers looking to end this. That supernova is going to be so dangerous. I'm looking at freaking Chris with no evade to his name. If he walks too close to the edge, that could just be it for him from a power chord supernova combo. Flowers looking to push the core forward. The perfect pitch from JA. That team player as well sets Flowers up perfectly. And this could be it. The strike war is there. Storm not able to find the corner clear that he wants. And Groundhog Day are going to win game number 1. They're looking to take it to a grand finals reset.
Good first game. Really exciting. Really fast paced here. And I really thought the team with Adverse Stinger would have a pretty good chance in the damage. It was really coming up, but unfortunately the bear would fall on some timings that. So okay, as the IME goalie, you want to use your core, you want to use your abilities to hit people, like put pressure on. But he would use all his abilities, and then the core would just come back to him, unfortunately. And all he would have was just strike, and some fast core speed, the team player, the vice, the chain lightning. Those barriers would fall so fast that you couldn't bring his cooldowns back up to play defense, and that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes with the IB goalie.
Yeah, but on the flip side, just some silver linings. A 3+2 from Storm, effective play style, I think, early on especially, being able to play so aggressively and secure so many goals for his team. So I definitely think it's still pickable coming into game number 2, which is going to be IME's app. But when that IME's app rolls in, I cannot help but think of all this unstaggered chaos that Flowers found in that previous game. And I'm wondering if Hamster Quest and freaking Chris are going to be able to deal with what Sphinx and Flowers want to bring to the table in game number 2.
I will say, the Vicious Vambrace, I would like to see something else other than pick. If you're going to play Vicious Vambrace, play like Kazan or something, because Kazan wants the ball a lot, and Vicious Vambrace plays in that playstyle really well. And okay, because Storm really wants to play with people that play damage, and it has worked. And I think they should play. Someone should pick Siphoning Wand with personal bias. They want to take them out. They want to play damage. At least someone should play Siphoning Wand. Maybe the midfielder, maybe the brawler with like Zentaro or Vice. But we'll see what happens on this next map. IME's application.
Yeah, the application calls here in game number 2, and I'm looking to see what both teams pick up. Again, I think that Juno going to be a little bit hotly contested between freaking Chris and Sphinx, kind of the premier Juno players of the league, if I recall correctly. So we saw it banned out by freaking esports in game number 1. They did not want to deal with it, especially because, again, Sphinx brings that Drakkar counter pick should freaking Chris elect into it. So I'm wondering if they'd scrimmed before, or they just realized that the matchup wasn't really playable for them, and they just want to ban it to get done, because freaking Chris does not have a Drakkar in his pocket, from what I understand. He's mainly wanting to play that Estelle should that Juno be picked out.
Now, IME's application is a very volatile map, and a lot of picks can be chosen to really change the tide, but this Rasmus, this Juliet could be pretty high priority picks for either team. And I know Storm could play the Rasmus goalie, but he would rather play that on like Demon Deus. I caught myself saying Demon Deus. Yeah. Demon Deus. As we're coming as we're coming back in this draft, explosive entrance stacks on stacks. And now I'm really looking at a Zentaro pick here. Explosive entrance is a pretty best in slot awakening for him, and I think it would really shine in this matchup here.
100%, I could agree with that. And that stacks on stacks is interesting, right? If you could keep yourself alive, you can snowball off of that mobility and take over the game. But it is IME's app, right? Those stacks could be gone like that. going to be interesting to see which teams opt into that gamble. And as they say, gambling is pretty awesome. So we'll see what happens for both these teams. Again, with that explosive entrance and what Flowers wants to pick, I feel like we're almost certainly going to see another Vice Aimee here. And I think that question asks if you are banning the Juno, you are going to be red side here, which means it's probably going to be undeniable. But if it doesn't get first picked, which it did by Groundhog Day, you have an opportunity to ban out what Flowers wants to play here. You could pick the Aimee Vice yourself. And what is Flowers going to play? She does not play traditional brawlers as far as I know.
No, they did pinch her pool a bit with the Vice ban and the Aimee pick. And now she's going to play Luna. And she's probably going to go slick kick stacks on stacks. Take over the game. And with this eject goalie, you don't really have defensive options to really deal with the Luna. And all she needs to do is dribble, weave around, be a bit slippery, and just use the dash. And just hits on them. And then that's all you need because there's a one barrier map. And once that barrier falls, open net, and you're playing with, I'm mistaken. There is no Luna.
Whoa.
It is on the side of Groundhog Day, it is Juno, Rasmus, Mako. And on the flip side, saying your terminology, it is Aimee, Estelle, Jakar. Really looking interesting picks here.
Whoa. Okay, I'm going to be real. No clue what is going on with these compositions. I think the Aimee is probably going to be goalie again. I think that's kind of Storm's go. It feels like it's Storm's go-to pick. If you could correct me if I'm wrong, but with that explosive entrance, the eject button's obviously going to be very good as well. The Estelle is going to be something that freaking Chris is going to be playing. Should he not get the Juno, which he did not, and that Jakar is going to be Hamster Quest. That is a character that I know personally that he likes. So I'm wondering if he's going to end up doing that here. Anyone could really go anywhere in this composition, and on the flip side, I feel like it is pretty set in stone who's going what.
I mean, into the map pick, game 2 on the Aimee's application, and Flowers is on that Rasmus pick, and I think with her playstyle, she's gonna go pummelers, and with this unfamiliarity on this Rasmus, I almost said Rasmus champion. I'm being league pilled. This Rasmus character, I'm wondering how she will fare in this matchup here.
Yeah, definitely unfamiliar grounds for Flowers as players. I think this is going to be a moment where she is going to have her pool tested a bit. We're going to see if she actually has practiced this, if this is something that she is comfortable on, or if we're going to see a bit of a brawler flounder coming out from who is traditionally a midfielder for their main role. So going to this though, Sphinx on the Juno, I think, going to be the man of the hour. It is his signature character. It is frickin' Chris's signature character. And it was going to be the most contested pick, I think, of this series. So if it performs well, I think it could lead to a dire situation for the side of frickin' esports in the bracket reset. And already, Groundhog Day looking to be the ones to take it to that reset. Sphinx with an early goal.
Yeah, I'm really looking for the side of freaking esports Hamster Quest. He did take that pummelers and he did take the explosive entrance. And it's really up to him to find these KOs and put the pressure on and allow his team to really do their thing. Because Storm wants to push up. If he's playing on the back foot, he's losing. There's no other way to say it. So the Hamster Quest is really fishing right now, and this is where he's going to get value. Just play lame, sit on someone, and just shoot them.
Yeah, 100%. That's what you want to be, the little Jakar brawler rat that we have seen so many times in the NAS. Ooh, Sphinx, though, playing one-man interference in the power play, completely stalling it out for Flowers to get back up. But the damage is pumping up for both members of Groundhog Day. This is a little bit scary. Flip comes out from Sphinx. Freaking Chris not going to be yanked out and surviving here. That drum and bass. Perfect pitch comes through. Flowers, a crucial strike or win, but unfortunately, Hamster Quest going to be sent on a rampage here, and that makes it all too easy for the side of freaking esports. They're going to be evening up the game here.
I won't lie, freaking Chris had a free shot on the top side and decided not to take it, and that allowed Storm to have to burn side swipe to really put on the pressure. And you really want to end these points quick. You don't want to let them slow down. You want to put the pressure on. And unfortunately, barrier take. And now look at all the pressure, the Junior Slimes, the Pendulum Swing for the side of Rasmus. And oh my gosh, Flowers with the cheeky Rasmus kill. The Death's Touch. And now she has all the speed to put the ball in, and now it's 2-1. That was a disturbing angle, I won't lie.
Yeah, that was kind of out of nowhere. I wasn't even seeing it. Well played to Flowers, who, hey, sometimes you're able to not play the character, you're able to play the pull. And if you could do that, champion familiarity, it doesn't really matter. You'll still kind of use the age-old, the tradition of IMEZAP to pick the Rasmus. Sometimes they don't know how to play around it. You could just abuse that to a victory.
Flowers does have the flip here. Probably gonna look like the damage dump because you want to hit the person with a raid so they don't need to take the core flip, use it for the interaction. But Hamster Quest is pretty low. Freaking Chris is coming up with the side with the piercing shot and puts the ball in, even up the set 2-2. Really needed that play.
Yeah, really big, and brings us again, interestingly enough, to another set 1.5, which we saw in the previous game. The Ensnare Drum's going to come out immediately just to win kickoff. A lot of investment from the side of JA to get the core forward, which, as you mentioned, plays to that weakness of the IME, right? You don't want the core in front of her. And as such, kickoff can go the way of Groundhog Day very, very quickly. And going to be an open net. Flowers might have to pay for this with her life, though. The shotgun, they're not going to find it. So all the cooldowns are going to be burned on Flower, which leaves Sphinx with a perfect opportunity to find the goal. Not going to happen, though, as the flip comes out. Going to be parried away by freaking Chris. The pull comes through. Finds a wonderful KO from Flowers. Going to put us into a power play. The Slime's going to be there. Flowers not able to do it, but gets that final Strike War win to send it in, take the set, and Groundhog Day one set closer to that Grand Finals reset.
Yeah, she looked very clean with that kill confirm. That would be someone that had like 500 hours on this Rasmus character. And now, a really tricky, oh my, look, this is a Damage Comp's dream. Ad Rush, Stinger, Prize Fighter. But I'm wondering what gets picked here for that.
Well, it makes sense, Ad Rush being denied, but that's just one win condition taken away from the Rasmus, and another one's been placed into his hands. But as you mentioned, Stinger going to go the way of Storm. So much damage, potentially, especially onto Flowers, who's playing the more fragile of the two characters. It can go very bad. On top of that, even though it isn't scaled yet, freaking Chris, just a raw spark of strength, going to be sitting at 132 power on this Estelle, which can lead to a lot of damage should he be given the opportunity to set up those piercing shots, but he might not get that chance, as already Storm unable to defend here on the IME goalie pick. It's going to be an open net for the side of freaking esports.
I mean, the damage, this damage game that freaking esports really wants to play here, they're kind of getting reversed, they're getting damaged themselves. And if Hamster Quest is not getting kills, he's not really getting much value on this Shikai character. He did take the palms, he's basically losing.
Wow.
What happened though, Flowers?
Oh, wait, Flowers died? Yeah, I heard the KO, but I heard the pull sound effect, and I assume that Flowers was the one that died, but it might have been, no, it was actually the piercing, or sorry, the Rose Warp from freaking Chris, who caught Flowers trying to get the cheeky pull onto freaking Chris. So a little bit of karma there for the Rasmus pickup, and Flowers again going to be the focus of fire right now from the side of freaking esports, but it's just not able to convert into any sort of goals, any sort of barriers, and it's just such an unfortunate situation all around for freaking esports.
Yeah, that'll be double power play kill, and they're trying to look for three. Oh, they have to kill her.
Oh,
perfect. That was perfect.
Wait, that was kind of a quangle of the ages. That was freaking awesome. I didn't see that angle, but freaking Chris did, and that was a beautiful KO. Good mental reset as well. On top of that, an energy advantage, even with all those flip burns. Freaking Chris able to keep his flip in the meantime, which is going to be big. Unfortunately, had to use it there for no value. Now it's going to be dead even for both teams again. The drum and bass coming through uninterrupted allows Flowers to get that goalie barrier. The Slime's creating so much of an issue here in the midfield as well with Sphinx. I'm wondering how freaking Chris might be able to get through it here later into the game. Core goes through, piercing shot comes out, but it's just strike for strike taken by Sphinx. Just knows the matchup all too well. Juno versus Estelle, and it just feels so hard to get it through for the side of freaking esports.
Flowers does have the Mako speed coming up, trying to make the 1v1 hero play, and they actually get it. a hit stun storm allows Sphinx to use the Blabos to send the ball onto the top side. And now it's looking really good for the side of Groundhog Day. 0 prize fighter sacks outside of Flowers, but they can go either way, Brickbat. They can find a cheap kill with the Jakar combo, or the Death's Touch on the side of Rasmus can seal the deal.
Yeah, it's a bit of a volatile situation, but that is how it is on the application. Right now, the namesake of the map is able to find the stagger on to Flowers. Firewall Sentry, unfortunately, not much value. The pull's there, barely. Hamster Quest survives. And the KO is going to be found. The Ensnare Drum's coming out for JA, able to stall a good amount of time, but the opportunity is not done yet for freaking esports, but an unfortunate Rose Warp means that with this flip from Sphinx, it's still going, actually. Just a really unfortunate situation all around for everyone. But the corner offense for freaking esports continues. Flip got a whiff from freaking Chris, and now, wow, just a lot of whiffs coming through. Flowers just taking advantage of that mistake. Just ends it right then and there, and a bit of a mishap, comedy of errors, but does go the way of Groundhog Day. They're going to be very heavily advantaged here in game number 2.
Looking at this draft right now, we have a lot of damage. Juno's hovering that bulk up on our screen, and it's looking pretty good, but the extra special, the Rasmus is in the last pick, so he's probably not going to get that.
100% agree. I think the IME is almost certainly going to deny it. In fact, it's going to be denied by the Estelle instead. Stacks on stacks going down to JA, who's playing a little bit aggressively on the Mako, something that you don't see too often just because of the low base speed of the character. But on the flip side, Hamster Quest needs to find these KOs, and boy howdy, does he have the Awakening combination to do it. Explosive entrance, heavy impact, adrenaline rush. These shotguns are going to be USAS frags in just a second, and they're going to be looking to take out the members of Groundhog Day.
Really good. This corner defense coming out from the side of freaking esports looks really good. The Xeno Cloak almost punishing the misclear from Sphinx, but the barrier does fall, and the core slips past. The Juno jump doesn't hit the ball, and Xeno Cloak comes out. Oh my gosh, the strike board is not won by Hamster Quest, but the piercing shot will literally put the ball in and just seal the deal for this first point for freaking esports.
W2 freaking esports. They're going to find themselves on the board this set. Even though the KOs weren't a crucial factor of that previous point, I just suspect that it might just show up any given moment. There is just so much damage on the side of freaking esports. They've got to be able to find it and convert off of it, because without it, I mean, what's the point of going damage in the first place anyways?
That it is tempo based for this damage comp, and this triple flip, unfortunately one gets used, and now they really have to kill Flowers, which she does get taken off the application. And now power play for the side of freaking esports. They're looking for this kill. Sphinx is dead, punished for mispositioning, and now the barrier falls, and this triple power play, but Flowers has come back in and uses all their abilities, trying to stall for any bit of space that can be created for freaking esports.
Yeah, that space is well used. JA able to find the clear, but they're not out of the woods yet. Hamster Quest on the Xeno Cloak finds the strike in between 3 members. Freaking esports, some signs of life here in game number 2. Just 1 set away from grand finals resets. They do not want to go there. They want to win and take us to a game 3 right now.
Go with the flip, but the perfect pitch just takes the ball away. And Flowers is not taking off. Good evade, good usage of your resources, and now they're really punishing. If Hulk comes out, yes! Hulk does come out, and now, unfortunate back clear has to do something with all the pressure coming on top of the barrier. Versation pushing with the flip. Sphinx coming in the midfield line with the Juno block, and the dimer from Sphinx will allow Flowers to put the ball in and put a point on the scoreboard.
Yeah, that hot shot from Juno is making Sphinx just all that more unbearable in the midfield. On top of that, the core speed makes it so that Storm has to play a little bit more defensively than he'd like on the IME, which is just very, very hard to deal with. All members of freaking esports is really just playing defense, it feels like, a lot of the time, and because of that, JA able to just kind of play his game, just kind of chill out and play some music for his forwards, and they've been getting the job done so far pretty well.
Great strike from Flowers, and now she has.
No!
was gonna say she has all the momentum, but unfortunate own goal on the side of freaking esports will put the set 2-2, and this could be match point for grand finals reset. Not good grand finals. This could lead to a reset here.
Yeah, just you hate to see that. That's so sad to see. And with that KO, it feels like it's all but inevitable. This reset that's been heading our way. Flowers, no strike war win, but baits out the flip from Storm. Hamster Quest trying to run interference, is able to do so, but it's just delaying the inevitable, it feels like. Flip from Sphinx comes through, maybe, no, actually decides to hold it for now. Instead, rotating to the bottom side, gets a close corner offense, but it's going to be stuffed away by all three members of freaking esports. Freaking Chris trying to dump it forward. Flowers another opportunity, but not able to find it. Storm here, again, playing that third forward. Hamster Quest trying to get it with a strike shotgun, but there's just too many strikes, and he's going to be sniped away. The Crystal Thorn's not going to find that cross clear either, which means that that slime is now more than ready to open up the net for freaking esports. Sphinx trying to get it through freaking Chris, who is on a bit of a hero play here on the interference. The Molten Pull comes through, but it's not even going to find too much value as we get it overtime. The pull is there. Freaking Chris has to walk into it. Now overtime is here with this Juno. The dribble from Storm trying to find anything, but it's 3v2. 2 seconds until freaking Chris comes back. Cyber Swipe going to be there. Flip to stall it out. The angle isn't there to find the goal, but Sphinx going to be low. Flowers now has to rotate to play defense in lieu of her midfielder as the perfect pitch going to red core it out. Slime just there, waiting in the wings. Any moment now could go, but it's going to defend yet again for freaking esports. The Rose Warm not able to find core possession either. The strike ward's going to be lost, but Flowers misstrikes it into Storm. This gives Hamster Quest maybe one last opportunity here. The piercing shot doesn't find its mark. You hate to see it, and the core is going a bit too fast. The strike's not there. And freaking esports, unfortunately, so many opportunities, but none can be taken. The grand finals nerves, unfortunately, a little bit too strong, and we are going to a grand finals reset.
Unfortunate that that point happened that way. A lot of misplays, a lot of unfortunate events happened. But just pointing out one, freaking Chris really wanted to hit that angle on the top side on that corner, but it just bounced in a weird way that kind of griefed possession, and they just allowed the red core just to slide in. And at the end, Storm missed they dashed in, but they struck, and they kind of whiffed air, and he tried to blink back, but his strike was on cooldown, so he couldn't strike the ball. So unfortunately, Time's application reigns supreme for the side of Groundhog Day, and we're going to reset here with that.
Here we are, which I wonder what freaking esports does, because they've played damage and it's kind of failed for them. I feel like Hamster Quest and Storm got just the perfect combination of awakenings to find these KOs, and yet they're just not able to convert. Props, obviously, Sphinx on the Juno, going to be incredibly hard to kill. Again, the tankiest midfielder in the game. On top of that, has an elusive built in, which means that KOs are a bit hard to find onto this Juno character. And on the flip side, even though Flowers did fall victim to some of the KOs, it just wasn't enough to create any tangible advantage for the side of freaking esports. And I think JA really got to play his game, really got to just do Mako things, really uncontested. And as a result, the forwards of Groundhog Day were just able to get it done.
Yeah, Storm was really bit on the back foot there. And even if he got an interaction to push up, it was met with just a solid defense with jurisdiction, because he had all the cooldowns. He wasn't really pressured, because Hamster Quest was looking for the KOs, and he wasn't really sitting on the Mako, because you kind of have to do that in this matchup. You have to balance. Okay, you have to make the most of your punishes, because you have to punish people mispositioning, but you can't allow your team to get outsped by the Mako speed. You have to balance your options. You do have 2 shotguns, so you have to choose.
Yeah, it's a bit awkward, and I'm not quite sure. Again, it's just I'm not quite sure what freaking esports can do in this grand finals reset. I wonder if freaking Chris has to just ego match the Juno, pick blue side, ban out their Jakar, and just say, hey, I popped off on this, in week 1 of playoffs, and I got an ego Sphinx on it because Sphinx has taken a game off of us with it, and we have to pull out some X factor here in order to not get rolled over here in the grand finals reset.
Yeah, but this is a mental reset here. The I will say Storm has been in this position before. For personal experience, Water did get reset by Boss, and it took us a bit to recollect our thoughts. And all we did, I got up out of my chair, I used the bathroom, I washed my hands, I splashed some water in my face, and I just told myself, okay, it's a brand new set, anything could happen, and even if we lose the first game, we can just reel it in, get our confidence back, get our comms up, and just be vocal about each other, because the mental is really important, as well as playing mechanically. I talked this about AJ Cannon. You have to balance. It's the trifecta. Playing well mechanically, having a good mental state, and just having a good communication with your teammates. So
Yeah.
just all three possibilities, all three major points in this trifecta are really important for a success in this North America Strikers Training Grounds Grand Finals reset.
And we are going to get into map select shortly. And I'm wondering if freaking esports are going to elect into that night market again. It didn't go their way the first time. And I wonder if they're going to bring out something else. Maybe that Inky Splash Zone to just see. Obviously, it was picked it was inevitable, or at the end of the day, picked by Groundhog Day. But friggin' esports, they need to find something. They got to find some strategy before Groundhog Day are able to finish the job. And I don't know. I don't think I'd like to see a repeat of the first pick from freaking esports here.
Well, there's a new set, new maps, new characters being picked, and I'm just wondering what the adaptations that freaking esports can make. Because you want to play with the eject goalie, you want to play with all the pressure. Okay. Low key, we could try double siphoning one, but I don't think that's their play style. I don't think they're going to force their players to do something they're not comfortable with, because that is another point. Comfortability is very important in these players, and just as well as being flexible, just not being stuck with your one trick and being able to pilot picks outside of, let's say, for example, freaking Chris, Juno, Estelle. Maybe you could add like I don't even know, like a now, an era on the low. Era could get away with this, probably not, but
I mean, Era won NAST.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. There are a lot of things that are going to happen, but we'll see the answers to it. It seems like both teams are taking a little bit to go through map select, so we will be pulling it out to a break here. We'll be right back with our bracket reset in the North American Strikers League Training Grounds Season 6. Stay tuned. Hi guys, we are back just in time for the North American Strikers League Training Grounds Season 6 Finals, Grand Finals reset. But before then, we did get the unfortunate news that our All-Pro vote data was a little bit misleading, a little bit corrupted. We have now since accounted for that and remade it, essentially. So we apologize for the confusion. We'll be very quickly going through our all-pro votes. We'll be going through them again just to make sure that we actually get it right this time. And we will fix one of the mistakes that we had. So just going to go right into it so that we don't keep these teams waiting in Grand Finals resets for too long. Our all-pro third team, it's going to be Andy Saro reprising their roles, but it's going to be Flowers here in the midfield, your third place all-pro team on Groundhog Day, who has been playing phenomenally so far as a midfielder brawler in this series. Going on to your next all-pro team. Oh, sorry. Whoa. Okay, yeah. Sorry, going way back to it. Engel Senpai, the backbone that has been supporting the all-star of Overgrown Lemon, makes his way onto the second place team. And Big Tilt didn't give you much commentary on that previous team, but I think Engel Senpai has a little bit of words to say for him. What are your thoughts?
Really solid play, both and Nasty and ISS. They played they played to the play style of Overgrown Lemon 5 to a T. They just get them the ball. They play solid defense with Ripstick, who on the low should be on an all-pro team. He plays like a beast, but that's besides the point. Engel Senpai just plays to their strengths. They play to the IME. They have a flexible pool. They play with confidence. They really mess up, and they just allow like you said, Brickbat, the backbone of Furret just allows Overgrown Lemon to do their job on the offense and gives backbone support on the defense for Ripstick.
Yeah, just a quiet carry all around from the midfielder of Furret. Nicky Middleton and Asianator still going to keep their roles, and we've said our piece about them. Fantastic players all around. And on to our all-pro first team. It's going to be exactly the same. Jack Limestone, Overgrown Lemon 5, and Beelzebub. All players, I think, absolutely deserving their role, their position here on this team. All of them had phenomenal plays, and shout out to all of them. They've been an absolute joy to watch and cast throughout this Season 6. Finally, we're going to have one correction, I believe. Overgrown Lemon 5 still your MVP of the series, but he wasn't the rookie of the split. He was, in fact, the most improved of the split. But guys, let's be honest. He would have taken that one as well if it did exist. He most improved, rookie of the split, MVP as well. I think it's just an absolute Overgrown Lemon 5 sweep, and that cannot be taken away from him no matter what. So with that correction out of the way, we are going to be making our way into game now. Grand Finals reset of the final series of Season 6 for the NAS. Keep your eyes glued to the screen because this will be the last you see of the NAS for some time before we come back from land, before we have our qualifiers. So this will be the series to end us off on. And let's hope that it is a good one, as we do see Night Market coming out again. Game number 1, the selection of freaking esports.
Going to the draft, we have freaking esports banning the Makos personally on Groundhog Day, banning the Juno. Estelle, Juliet, a mirror pick basically for the freaking esports on game 1 of Grand Finals upper bracket. It's not a mirror match. It's Jakar, Vice, and Dubu for the side of Groundhog Day. And now it's Glass Cannon, Demolitionist start, and it's basically just a repeat from game 1 of Grand Finals upper bracket.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of deja vu here, to be completely on. Again, Storm with this IMEB eject button and the Glass Cannon, best of both worlds, basically gets 2 goalie gears to start out with, but I'm a little bit worried because so far, Frigate Esports have not found an answer to the Drakkar, Vice of Flowers, and Sphinx. And in that situation, I'm just not sure you want a repeat of the previous series because that did not go very well for you.
They're just playing to their strengths. Groundhog Day. They don't need to change anything. They won. It's a level playing field now for Grand Finals. It's both sides on the losers. And we're just clicking here. We're just settling the field, getting back into the flow of motion, getting into the playing field. And now, it's back in the neutral state, Big Bat. Nothing much is happening. I'm going to pass it off to you.
Yeah, it is going a little bit slow right now. Ooh, but an opportunity here. A big supernova as now higher health bars of freaking esports. Hamster Quest gonna actually rotate on the defense just to stay alive. Sphinx barely misses out on the KO. The regeneration is just enough from the orb, but now it's gonna be 2 flips. A third not soon, or not too far away on Flowers as well. So this offense coming out from Groundhog Day is going to be a little bit scary. Flip now through for Sphinx, but freaking Chris is able to call it out. Reaction check is going to be passed. Bit of an awkward Tofu Fortress and allows Hamster Quest to maybe get his hands on it one more time, but the offense is just not going to be enough. The supernova there, the flip is actually going to be called out from Storm, winning the 50-50. Good presence of mind there. It's going to buy one more opportunity here for freaking esports to get it through. Hamster Quest now going to have possession of the core. The dribble's going to be there. The flip going to call out the piercing shot from freaking Chris, however. Sphinx able to play interference with the Xeno Cloak. Might be able to take it just to himself. The awkward bounce comes through, and that's not what you want to see here on your first point. It's freaking esports not able to close it out, and that's going to cost them the point here.
A bit of a rush defense for the side of excuse my words, freaking esports, and now everyone's a bit low on the energy economy on the side of Groundhog Day. Freaking esports has one flip on the side of Storm, and freaking Chris is basically dead with an evade, but they should play for life here. Good evade coming out from freaking Chris, but the side of Hamster Quest and freaking Chris, as he's taken out, are both low.
Yeah, this is very scary. Hamster Quest going to be very KO'able as well. Good clear from Storm, but doesn't find the exact angle that he wants. Strike Shotgun not going to hit its mark, which means that the final goalie barrier freaking esports is going to stay up for now. Glitch Pop, or Cyber Swipe, I'm sorry, doesn't find that KO on the Flowers. One barrier down. Flip comes out defensively from Hamster Quest, going to have it stepped away, but he was just looking to keep himself alive regardless. Firewall Sentry coming through. The Tofu Fortress coming out. A KO going to be found on the Flowers, but freaking Chris needs to be able to move the core forward, and it is not getting into Hamster Quest's hands. Sphinx playing an amazing middleman right now. Able to completely block it out as we enter overtime. Flowers just up in time to find the perfect power core to keep this goalie barrier alive. Freaking Chris finally able to move it forward, but the dribble from Hamster Quest a little bit awkward, but they find the final goalie barrier nonetheless. Storm trying to get the core forward. The power strike. Oh, this there. Oh no, Storm is lagging out. This is super duper unfortunate. Oh, he might just be back in time though. Supernova comes out, not able to find too much value outside of the evade. An unfortunate angle off of the night market means that that goalie is going to be open for this IME. Flowers looking to potentially get the goal here. The power core not hitting its mark, but Sphinx, another batter up to the table. This flip from Storm looking very comfortable, however, has to use it defensively. It's now freaking Chris an opportunity. The strike war is not going to be won. It passes up to Hamster Quest. Hamster Quest dribbling it through. Ooh, mixes up JA. A little bit beautiful there. Has found the wall bounce multiple times. Is able to get themselves on the board here. Tie game.
Really good play for Storm, Hamster Quest, and freaking Chris side of freaking esports. And they just have to play a bit more calm, collected, with patience. And just to whittle down the side of Groundhog Day. And they should just play slow. I keep repeating myself. They should just play not to get gimmicked. They shouldn't get gimmicked. They shouldn't be losing these barriers like this, but the side of Groundhog Day, they're just making all the interactions of the most of it. They're just getting the barriers, they're getting all this power plays, kills, just all this pressure, and it, again, Storm's on the back foot, and that's what you want to see for the side of freaking esports.
Yeah, it's just like their name. I feel like getting a sense of deja vu. It feels like right now freaking esports are just seeing their own shadow. They're playing a little bit scared as JA is just able to play his game. I mean, right, just gets a super chill clear with a flip. Just none of his resources ever really feels strained. It always feels like he has a cooldown. It always feels like he has flip. It always feels like he's able to just find everything, and that is just not what you want to see. Again, a flip going to be stuffed out by Flowers. Groundhog Day seemed to just be chugging along just fine in his grand finals reset.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Storm did. I'm pretty sure he had a free up clear, but he struck right into Flowers. Now you want to see the side of freaking esports, and they need to. Again, this is the first game of the grand finals reset. They do have a lot of time to bring this back. They can even bring back this game. It's only the first set, and they just need to collect themselves, Just gotta play with confidence, cool their mental, and just figure out any possibility that can take this game back.
Yeah, that is a good start. Flip from Sphinx going to be stuffed out immediately. Just freaking Chris looking to use the Crystallized Thorns to move forward, but has to play so defensively. The KO threat from Flowers is not to be underestimated. JA, an amazing evade strike against the dash punch of Hamster Quest, but Hamster Quest still able to find the KO. The Tofu Fortress is there. An amazing KO from Flowers as well. Stops the power play of freaking Esports in its tracks. Storm looking to play as a forward for now, but just not going to get the opportunity to do so. The eject button is unfortunately a little bit too long. Flowers with that flip looks so scary. Doesn't get flicked off the stage. No evade, or sorry, no health, but still has her flip. Looking to good to be used this against Storm, which is so scary for this IME. KO not going to be found, unfortunately. The back and forth is going to be found again. No KO is going to be found. Finally, it comes through, but Sphinx on the flip side, the shotgun almost sends it in. It's going to be freaking Chris. They have to find the conversion off of these. You cannot be losing these offensive plays on power plays like this, especially if you're going to be the one that wants to play damage. And that is exactly what is happening right now. Freaking Esports not able to convert. The flip comes through defensively again for this IME. Not going to be using it offensively. And again, Storm is going to find himself on the back foot here on IME.
Say goodbye. I don't think they're playing for damage per se. I think they're just playing core control. They're not really looking to damage them. They're just damaging them by just hitting them. They're just hitting the ball and the core, which is low-key what you want to do for damage comps, but they're picking double slick kicks. And they're not really getting much... I mean, I'll be honest, I don't know what they're doing at this point. It's hard to say when you're getting reversal by Flowers and all that, and you use the strike shotgun, unfortunately, and now it's looking pretty dire for the side of freaking Esports. It's really dire for them, and now they're down a set.
Yeah, it really does feel like Groundhog Day are showing up. They are the ones that are playing better currently, and they are the ones that are going to be winning more sets. Flowers, MVP, Explosive Entrance, Extra Special on the table. Which one shall she pick? It's going to be the Explosive Entrance, denying the way that from the Eject IME. Extra Special, oh, Deadeye actually, still going to be a very good consolation prize for Storm. But again, that's more damage that, you know, they're playing core control like you mentioned, or even if they are playing damage, they're not finding those conversions. So I'm wondering how valuable these picks are going to be.
And Dubu, I will say, got Extra Special. And now Juice Asian has all... He could just... Juice Asian can just cycle his cooldowns and make sure they never get scored on. Like, Extra Special just allows them to play so aggressively and defensively at the same time, where there's not really much going on for the offense for the side of freaking Esports.
Yeah, and it feels like the questions posed by Groundhog Day just have no solid answers to them. As the offense continues, good clear found by Storm. Hamster Quest using the dash to get the core forward. The log is there. Again, all the cooldowns for the Dubu just so overbearing. And it's just so hard to get through the Dubu. And on the flip side, you are able to abuse IME in those close quarter defensive situations. And because of that, Storm simply cannot hold as long as JA is. So melee goalie is really reigning supreme. That's just unfortunate, but hey, you're going to take that power play.
Hamster Quest looking really dangerous here with the flip. Flowers looking really low. Supernova comes out, but the what happens? Hamster Quest does not pull the trigger on the flip. He does not.
Oh!
But good strike and good patience for Hamster Quest. Waits out Juice Asian's strike timing and gets the goal. First point for the second set going to freaking Esports.
Yeah, well played. Good patience on Hamster Quest to be able to stay cool and use that patience to his advantage. Almost a double barrier coming through to start us out into this point. But one barrier going to be found in the meantime. Barriers just flying down left and right. It's going to be an open net for the side of freaking Esports. They're going to be trying the ones to score this, but they're going to have to survive this offensive play from Sphinx and Flowers, who have been looking so good all night. This good strike war comes through from Storm, barely saved by the Summer Assault. Hamster Quest not able to win the strike war against the two members, the two forwards of Groundhog Day, as another Supernova comes through. The flip there for Flowers as well. She needs to be KO'd in any second, but no, she is able to find the goalie barrier before that happens. The Xenocloak going to be there. The shotgun not able to find the KO that Sphinx was looking for. Firewall Sentry comes through. It's going up to Hamster Quest, but the piercing shot and the punch go wide. Just like that, the offensive capabilities dry up. Unfortunate miscommunication means that Flowers is going to survive a little bit longer. One more KO going to be found. Hamster Quest on a 4x KO streak, and oh no! The Dubu roll does not hit its mark. 2 points now for freaking esports. They're looking a little bit recollected, and hopefully they're going to find a little bit more wind in their sails.
This is what they need. Cool, calm, collected play, getting these strike timings, getting around the big Dubu, and now this is the perfect moment for them to pull out something out of the bag, like a dash punch kill, a Quangle, or a Deadeye Imi dash flip. And that's all what they would need to take the power play, get all the momentum, and maybe bring the set back.
Yeah, but it's not looking good right now. 2K is coming through the evade just in time to survive the flip of Sphinx. But how long can this man stay alive? No, Storm. The eject doesn't come through. Oh, but a hero play. Oh, the defense comes through. No, barely saves at the last second. Fortunately goes down, and the strike shotgun a little bit too much, just too many things to redirect the core. A valiant defense again from freaking esports, but whew, boy, am I feeling deja vu from the previous series.
It's looking really rough. Flowers has flip coming up, and they're definitely gonna look for a kill here. They should really look. Side freaking esports should really look for damage on side Flowers. They'll put the pressure on her. They could use evade, anything, just to throw her off her game and not allow her to get all the momentum. Supernova comes out.
Oh!
It just gets to her. She does vice things, and she gets the goal.
God, this is looking dire. This was a 2-0 set advantage for the side of freaking esports, and it is very quickly evaporated. Flip now comes through for Flowers. A beautiful angle, but not going to find the goal that she wants. This gives another opportunity for freaking esports. The Molten Bolt, though, puts a stop to that. An unfortunate strike whip from Storm means that it's an open goal. It's just all too easy for Flowers to find the goal. Doesn't need a brawler. Doesn't need any confirmed stuffs. Just striking, skill, and damage for this player of Groundhog Day. As we enter another draft here, we'll see what they end up picking.
Not that scary. If Sphinx gets bulk up peak performance, that's pretty good for them. That's why it gets picked by Device. Super Surge goes to the Imi, and that will allow them to find even more kills. The dash training on Imi is pretty pivotal in her playstyle, just pushing up, but maybe that'll allow her to do some things.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Sphinx picking up the Spark here. They're already so far advantaged. You just want to press that lead and end the game before Spark scaling comes through. Maybe it was a deny for the Juliet, but it is only 2 Sparks. It is Spark of Strength, admittedly, so I see the merit to it. However, I think I agree with you there. I really would have liked to see the combination of the peak performance, the bulk up, just to kind of cash out on your victories and just say, I'm going to win set 3. I've been stomping the competition so far. I'm looking to end the game before any sort of comeback is going to be possible. Just looking to end it there. That being said, maybe it is a safe investment because it is an open net for the side of freaking esports.
A double barrier comes out for Groundhog Day. Freaking esports looking pretty dire in this situation. Amsquest has the flip though, trying to make the most out of this power play deficit. And good Strike Warriors, good calm collected play. Flip is not going to be triggered by Storm.
Oh!
And JA just kills himself on the night market. Hemsquist coming in with the flip, uses it, trying to make the power play, make the hero play, but kind of just stalls for no apparent. Oh. Okay, there's no way that way. Big man, really, that stalling was. I have no words.
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward, but you know what? Hey, it might not be nerves, but it is excitement for Groundhog Day, right? You are on Grand Finals reset off of a very dominant performance. I could see yourself. I'd get antsy. You know, I'd get antsy. I'd kind of lose some of my higher level functional thinking, and I think that's just what happened right now. Unfortunately, we're losing a little bit more than that. We're losing our lives here. The Flame Flurry coming through. Sphinx, once again, has been playing interference on these reverse power plays so amazingly. Not able to do it there, though, as one goalie barrier goes down. He's going to find himself KO'd, but the strike from JA, the Dubu, too big for the strike hitboxes of frickin' esports. Hamster Quest not able to find this final barrier, and that's just not what you want to see. You really need to be seeing these full conversions here. Still just not able to find it. JA is massive. He is large and in charge. Hamster Quest almost going to be taken out. The Dash Punch not going to find that KO. A little bit creative, but unfortunately just not enough power here on the Juliet. Flowers now looking to go forward. Doesn't win the strike war against Storm, but the ramping pressure is going to be here. The final goalie barrier comes through. Oh my god! The angle was perfectly off,
No
but the
way.
chain lightning is going to be what finds it for Flowers. The power hour of Flowers continues here in set number 3. They're looking to take us to a game number 2 in fashionable style.
I mean, Flowers forcing out the evade from Hamster Quest. And now she's literally just fishing for a kill. She is literally fishing for a kill. She has the flip coming up, Supernova on the field, and now look at all this pressure. The secondary, the Thunderstruck, gets the barrier, and now she has flip. She's gonna walk up, and she's gonna pull the or she can just use it in the midline. My bad.
It's okay. I mean, you really can do a lot. Right now, Flowers has had no issue picking up Storm in a lot of these situations. Obviously, should she stay alive to see it. And there it is right there. Oh no, the strike whiffs. Bit of a mistiming from Flowers. Doesn't win the following up strike war, but JA trying to play aggressive. Might get punished for it here, but has a flip to work with. Again, all the resources that JA ever wants is going to be found on his disposal on Hamster Quest. Struggling like freaking Chris has to get through Sphinx. The flip's going to be there, but it's going to be stuffed out again. All the cooldowns being used just to get it to JA, who still has his flip. Supernova comes through, overtime hits. They cannot find any sort of mounting pressure onto the side of Groundhog Day, and Groundhog Day, once again, free reign to do whatever they want to this poor Amy on defense. They're not going to be able to do it. They're actually going to be finding themselves a little bit staggered here. It's freaking Chris now with the team player in overtime, looking to maybe catch JA lacking, but it's just not going to happen right now.
Oh, the Nightmare getting goal.
Flowers. That was so beautiful. Absolutely catches Storm off guard. And Flowers, again, can't say it enough. It really does feel like the Flower Power Hour. She's going to find another goal here. She's going to take her team over to game point here on game number 1, and they're going to be looking to close it out.
Supernova on deck. Sphinx gets the first barrier here. Hamster Quest is looking low with the flip. Don't want to die with all the resources here. Well, triple defense for the side of Groundhog Day will allow them to recollect their thoughts, think about how to end this game, and it's looking, oh my gosh, Hamster Quest, watch out!
Yeah, watch out. Oh, and a failed Quangla tank from freaking Chris means that this defense might have to come through for Storm. He's going to have to find himself a miracle save, maybe. But actually, good offensive heads up to play, but it's going to be immediately taken out by the Supernova of Flowers. Again, buying so much space. All these Supernovas feel so well placed to deny freaking esports their positioning, to deny them their health bars, to deny them their offensive plays. Flowers, once again, is finding herself taking over the game. The move speed comes through as well with the glass cannon. The power is going to be charged up, and she might get one more opportunity to send freaking Chris off the map. The flip from Storm's going to be used defensively. Going to be traded away. Flowers not able to find one of her own, but the strike shotgun's going to do it. Flowers going to be low, but it's going to be Sphinx to end it. Game number 1, Groundhog Day, handedly showing their hands and winning, you know?
I won't lie, Flowers did the craziest backwards primary to get the chain lightning to move the ball forward. And that led to the barrier being taken. And then Sphinx just has the flip, puts it on the top side, and seals out the night market game. And now, 3 straight games for the side of Groundhog Day. And it's looking very dire for the side of freaking esports.
Yeah, no better words myself. What the frick do you do? What do you do in this situation? It's more than dire. It's feeling tragic. It's feeling post-mortem, it feels like, for the side of freaking esports. It's right now, Groundhog Day, where they're just showing us the same story again and again, win after win after win after win, and they're going to be taking blue side here, which means they're going to be advantage for the Juno pick. They're not going to be able to be denied the Vice or the Juno. One of them is going to go into the hands of Groundhog Day, and to me, that feels all but doomed for freaking esports. They're not out of the count yet, but eek, you know?
Yeah. It's hard to say what they can do. They look outmatched in all aspects, like damage, killing, barrier takes, offense, defense, and it's just hard to come back from a 3-0 deficit. It's not looking good, but I have been informed that there is a roster update as going for who is it? Okay,
Hamster Quest going to be subbed out for Sero.
No, it's Storm.
Wait.
It's
Wait,
Storm.
Storm's prep. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's Sero on the brawler position coming in, and Hamster Quest is moving the goalie.
Interesting. Interesting to see. I mean, hey, if there is a time to pull out a roster change, get a role swap in, try something new, it absolutely is going to be now. We'll see if Sarah is going to be the difference that freaking esports need. He's online and ready to play. We'll see if Groundhog Day are able to close it out before anything happens, though, coming from this role swap.
We're gonna be on the Atlas Lab. Pretty damage map. You can play a lot of damage on the black hole. You could play just normal. You could play your normal slick kicks, mag souls, put that in the bag, and just try to core control. But I don't think you're gonna. You need to mix things up. Throw
You
them off
really
the
do.
guard.
You really do, and I'm wondering, you got to pull something crazy out here. I mean, the Zentar pick, obviously, from Storm is a mix-up in and of itself. It hasn't been played all series.
Sarah,
That is
Sarah, not
something.
Storm.
Did I say Storm? Yeah, Sarah, sorry. Who, by the way, third place, all pro. And absolutely can carry
Oh
game.
no!
What happened?
Hotshot Timeless Creator Star. You know what's gonna get banned, Brickbat.
Yeah. Well, I don't even have any analysis. This is just a moment of silence for freaking esports right now. That's all I could really think.
Moment of silence for the Juno, because if they don't ban Juno, freaking esports are trolling. On the
Yeah.
low.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely agreed here. Again, the most contested pick, and now an awakening bounty to go with it. We'll see if they end up banning it, though. The Vice has been a disaster for the side of freaking esports. Flowers has been piloting it so well. We'll see, though. I am seeing it. It's going to actually be a rune ban coming out from Groundhog Day. A little bit interesting. Bit of a respect ban, it feels like, maybe, for what freaking Chris or Hamster Quest could do with it. That means that maybe an opportunity Juno going to be banned away, but that probably is going to be a Vice picked up, if I do say so myself. Flower is going to be able to get the pick of the litter of whatever she wants to play, whether it be that Imi, whether it be that Vice, whatever it be that Luna. Right, all of these picks are things that Flowers can pilot very, very well. So we'll see what ends up being picked.
Well, Dracar is the first pick because they can honestly just greed the Vice. Because I don't think on the side of freaking esports, the Vice is going to get picked. Who's going to pick it? Hamster Quest? Can Hamster Quest play Vice goalie?
It's true. I'm not quite sure. Honestly, I'm not even quite sure what Hamster Quest plays on goalie. Yeah,
I think he plays like Asher. I think he plays Asher. I've seen him play Asher before.
Okay, I mean, the Timeless is a good start for that, I suppose.
I would rather pick, personally, I would pick Hotshot Asher, and you go Primetime, and you have Primetime Asher, Primetime Hotshot Asher, and how you going to score on that? Maybe that's what you need. Like, the difference... Oh, they picked Dubu. Oh.
Well, that answers that question. Hey, Dubu look good on JA, and Hamster Quest looking to match it. On the flip side, his Stell pickup on the Hotshot is going to be really good as well, but I'm really starting to doubt this pick. It feels like Sphinx is super familiar with the matchup, both on the Juno and the Drakkar, and it feels like he's been outplaying freaking Chris. A 60 redirect difference, by the way, between Sphinx and freaking Chris in the previous game. So I'm kind of down. I'm starting to doubt the pick. I'm starting to think that freaking Chris might need to try something else, but it looks like they're not going to be doing that. Hot shot, obviously going to be very good for the Estelle and makes the piercing shot amazing with that hit stun. Could send it right past the goalie before they have a chance to respond. So we'll see if that does end up coming through. It's going to be Mako Aimi selected. Melee goalies reign supreme in the Nasty, as we come to learn tonight and in previous weeks. And to round it all out, we'll see here what freaking esports has to pick.
Santoro, yes! We could place... Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah? I wonder what Sarah's going to pick here, though. Is he going to play the slick kicks, or he's going to play the siphoning one? And I think he should pick the siphoning one. Just put some pressure on. Put some damage. Make them position differently, so maybe you can get like a Quangle, or you can get like a roll or something on the bottom side or at the top side. Just anything to make them uncomfortable, because the Groundhog Day are so comfortable right now. They have the picks, they have their comfort picks, and they're just ready to put the seatbelt on and cruise to a grand finals win.
Yep. And freaking esports, they need to lay out the spikes to catch that car unaware. They need to find some road bumps. They need to find some Wile E. Coyote paintings on the, on the mountains to direct the car into a car accident. They got to pull out all the stops, all the trickery, all the buffoonery. All of their cards need to be placed on the table because their backs are against the wall. This is it. Grand Finals reset. This series is going to be settled in at least, or at most, 2 games. At minimum 1, right? So Hamster Crest and crew really need to kick it into gear. They really need to refocus. They really need to lock the fuck in because right now they are cornered on all fronts by Groundhog Day.
It's gonna be a rough one for freaking esports, and they also have to adjust to the play styles. Hamster Quest on goalie and Sarah on forward. They've been playing with Storm for 3 games now, and you need every point if you want to win. So if they get put in the back for it, it's not gonna go It's not gonna go so well for the side of freaking esports.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. I think this time though, one thing that we have been calling out, right? The Aimee getting in a lot of situations where she just cannot defend when it's melee in front of her net. With the Dubu, he can, right? So Hamster Quest gonna be able to buy his team a little bit more time to maybe crack open, put a little bit more pressure on a J, be able to play a little bit more offensively. We'll see what they could do. And hey, there we go. A siphoning one of that Zentaro gonna be picked here, and maybe that damage future that we talked about earlier that never came to be could finally be realized by Sarah.
Yeah, look, Sphinx is almost dead, and now Sphinx has to go back for the orb, and now that's precious time for freaking esports to get some offense going. And this is literally what they need: some pressure, some way to put Sphinx or Flowers out of the pool, out of the playing field, and this is what they need.
100%. It's going to be up to Flowers. Ooh, finds the Summer Assault top where it does not guess correctly, and that's a point. That is 1 point closer to doom for freaking esports. That is 1 point closer to glory for the side of Groundhog Day.
Coming in, when his blade comes out for the Zentaro, for Sarah. And now it's Marco Cage coming out. Sphinx is really low. No kill confirm on the side, but the barriers just drop. And oh my god, Zentaro's dead. All someone has to do is just kill someone and they can win.
Potential opportunity. Freaking Chris tries to take the 1v1 against JA, but the flip not called out in time. Hamster Quest barely loses out on the strike hitbox to save that barrier. Going to be an open net for both teams as Crystal Thorns is able to pass it through the car here. Strike shot coming through. Sarah not able to intercept the core. Oh! Tragedy is awaited for Good Esports here in the second point, and that is portents of cloudy days and misery for the side of Good Esports.
Yeah, you never want to see that when you roll and you lose a barrier, you lose a point with flip up. And just not utilizing all your resources is going to be the death of you. And a reversal from Sphinx will basically seal the deal on the set. Flowers has the flip, pushing up with the Mako speed, and the glitch pop, and now you're striking in.
Oh my god.
And now, 1 set down, it's not looking good for the side of freaking esports. All the momentum is on side of Groundhog Day.
100%. You got to be feeling good if you're Groundhog Day. A little bit of uncertainty added to the mix here with Sarah, but it's going just as swimmingly. It feels like you just left the hot tub and now you're just in the jacuzzi again. You are getting your ice cream. You are being chilling. And that adrenaline rush is going to be picked up by Sarah, but Aerials, again, falling to this Drakkar, which has been proven to be such a big nuisance for all members of freaking esports.
Oh, I do see the side rush on the Zentaro, and all he needs is to stall out these sets, get 1 set win, and maybe get like a stinger. His teammates don't really play damage. They didn't get damage awakening. He's got the recovery to another Dubu, and got a Spark on the side. No, we got Fight or Flight. My bad. On the side of freaking Chris. And now, putting in this corner offense with the Zentaro is getting triple goalie on, and now he's just gonna die.
Yeah, the damage a little bit too much to bear, even when it wasn't the main objective of Groundhog Day. That's just the Zentaro life for you. So right now it's going to be friggin' increase esports tasked with defending one barrier, going to go down, going to get cleared out maybe, but no, the strike shot keeps the core in play. The second one going to be found here by JA. Flowers with a glitch pop, but doesn't find the strike war against the Dubu of Hamster Quest. Centauro here. Sarah looking to play defensively. Freaking Chris trying to get the core out, but just not able to happen. The Oni Blade stalls it out to allow the reposition from Hamster Quest. As the snare drums come out, one goalie barrier going to go down. Sarah going to look to make it two. The Quangle not going to be there. The evade's just out in time. And JA actually pressured for the first time this game. Still able to keep his flip through it all, though. Oh! Bang! Jewish Asian, the perfect pitch. The pitch is perfect, and it's music to the ears of Groundhog Day. They're going to be finding their way into an advantage here in set number 2. And the pain train still goes population freaking Chris.
I mean, this double bear is going to... Oh, a good defense for the side of Hamster Quest. Gets the Tofu Fortress down. And even though freaking Chris is stagnant here, he does have the Rose Warp to play for a bit of safety. Sphinx gets the orb now. But the side of freaking esports, the Star 31 players are basically getting killed here.
Yeah, really, really unfortunate. Flowers a good strike war win as well. Bringing Chris, not going to be sent off the map, but forced to remove himself from the play, essentially, just to stay alive. Now the Drummond base is here. Sphinx going to be damaged a little bit as well. Flowers wins a 1v2 strike war, not what you want to see. Freaking Chris rotated on the defense, playing corner defense right now, but Flowers again wins that strike war. Is feeling so comfortable. She's in her element right now, looking to turn it into another wonderful, wonderful performance here in the Grand Finals reset. Freaking Chris, possession of the core, overtime is now hit, but the clear is going to be made by JA. Perfect pitch sends it out yet again. And the Molten Bolt from freaking Chris, I'm sorry, prevents him from really doing all too much. Tofu Fortress is here, and finally that stability from the melee goalie pick is going to be here. The flip as well can be used by Hamster Quest should he need it. Glitch Pop comes through, Cyber Swipe comes through. Not able to find it, but ouch. Flowers finds the perfect strike. Hamster Quest not ready for it, and that's going to be another point for Groundhog Day.
Yeah, gets the bottom side clear, punishing Hamster Quest for not covering that angle. Ow. Flowers has to flip. She's going to use it. She's going to find a kill or something, and then she's going to set the deal, set the point, and but okay, good flip out, but the double barriers fall. The strike shotgun might just seal the deal here with that.
Oh, maybe. Defense coming through. But they do have an open net. Freaking Chris fully rotated out. Tries to find the KO. One KO found finally, but the goalie barrier is still not going to be converted here by Sero. Finally going to find one. The adrenaline rush wearing off here. But oh no, the clear down. Hamster Quest so afraid to make the cross clear to his midfielder. It effectively stalls out the entire play. Now Flower's going to be back up. The Molten Bolt's going to be there. The Summer Assault as well is able to find the needle in the haystack clear. Able to keep this point alive. The strike shotgun also not able to seal it. Piercing shot comes through for freaking Chris. Centauro almost at flip, but it is a little bit scary here playing that corner. Flip does come through. 2 flips for the forward of freaking esports, and they're going to have to find a conversion right now. It's going to be now or never. 2 flips found on the KO, but that means there's going to be no resources here, but it's going to be stuffed out. Sero, beautiful, like you said, big tilt. Perfect. The Oni's Blade just in time. Finds the KO. They're going to lose their energy advantage, but they're going to find a point on the board, and they're going to need to find a few more miracles to make their way back into this game.
All it takes is a trickle bit bat, and Sphinx has no evade here, and but they just let him get the orb for free, and now they have the Mako speed coming in with Flowers with the flip. Sphinx pushing up with the shotgun, looking to punish any mispositionings here, and freaking Chris is basically low. The shotgun can seal the deal for the life of freaking Chris. Oh, strike placement has gone wide on the top barrier on the Atlas Lab. But it's looking dire from the side of freaking esports. They have someone staggered, and all the offense is on their side, and it's not looking good here, Big Bat.
Yeah, never did look good for them so far this series, and it's still not looking better. Flowers looking to play offensively. The Firewall Sentry is going to come down the perfect pitch as well to add to the chaos. Not going to find a goalie barrier, though. Tofu Fortress now adding some offense, much needed, but still not enough to take out the barrier. Overtime hits, and freaking esports still do not have an answer except core speed. off the Dubu. The hot shot's there. Sarah an opportunity, not going to find it though. The bounce a little bit crazy, but not going to catch Hamster Quest off guard. Sarah another opportunity, but just does not have the resources to find it. Frickin' Chris able to find a clear, maybe the black hole going to be popped. Piercing shot, maybe a bailout here. Sarah gets an opportunity, but it's quickly going to become a 1v3 situation. It's looking bad. The flip goes topside though, and Sphinx isn't able to find it in time to cover it. 2-2, it's going to be tied up. Freaking Esports, an opportunity to break the cycle.
Yep. Juiciation and Flowers do have 2 flips though, so they might put they put a dampen on their flame. And it's coming up. No pulling the trigger for the flip on the cyber swipe, but no double barrier here. Good defense from Hamster Quest, making sure they don't get reversaled. But this offense coming out from the side of Groundhog Day is looking really scary. But they're staggered. If Zentaro, the kill confirm character, can find a kill with the ad rush, but barely gets the kill. But now Zentaro has to play a bit safe here with the Odie's Blade, with the corner offense, the good flip. Stalling out the play for Sphinx to come back. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Now he's back.
Yeah, power play, unfortunately, just not able to find it. Find that final goalie barrier. It's so crucial. Feels like it's now or never for freaking Esports. They have to defend once again. The onslaught of Groundhog Day, the Tofu Fortress, immaculately placed to keep the goalie barrier alive. A goalie barrier that represents the hopes and dreams of all members of freaking Esports. Right now we are in overtime. Cooldowns are flying left and right, trying to find any gap in the armor. The Groundhog Day defense rings true, and Sero has to limp away to grab the orb. It's going to be another opportunity here. Flip comes through. It's going to be a power play. Oh, but this fragile Zentaro has to blow flip to play defensively. The shotgun ensures that the core speed continues to ramp up, that the pressure continues to ramp up here for the side of freaking Esports. Freaking Chris gonna make his way back though, but the Firewall Sentry, another opportunity. It makes its way through the Tofu Fortress, but not gonna be enough to find the goalie barrier, and there it goes, the open net. Freaking Esports, their dreams are now hanging on a razor's edge. This can be their last chance. It really feels like this is all that she wrote, and freaking Esports need to find this point, but it might not happen just quite yet. The Soren angle comes through for Hamster Quest. It's still not out of the woods yet, though, for freaking Esports. The clear is going to be made by Jewish Asian, and Flowers another opportunity here. The glitch pop doesn't catch the core. The clear is going to be made. The strike shot not going to make it, and that is not how you want it to end. And that feels like that's the end of freaking Esports. We still have one more set, but it really feels like any win that really ever could come to freaking Esports sales has just been stopped by the side of Groundhog Day.
Flowers getting the MVP here. Really deserve it. Taking that peak performance, and now Zentaro has to pick something. Damage, anything to just stop the momentum. Spark, I don't agree with. Yeah, on the back end. I would rather take like the Prize Fighter or something. But Dubu should take extra special. But all these CDs, Swing Drive, Prime Time, it's not looking too good for the side of freaking Esports. This is not good. It might be over.
It might be Jover with Flowers getting the mini awakening peak performance bulk up as well. Gonna be actually knocked out here. A good Tofu Fortress from Hamster Quest in order to start off the set on a good note, but just as soon as it's going well, it's not. So they're gonna lose one goalie barrier here in a reversal power play. Black hole gonna be popped in the center, and freaking Chris gonna look worse for wear coming out of this defense. Jewish Asian, again, all the resources in the world looking so comfortable here on the defense. Does end up losing that strike war, though, against the Zentaro, but the drum and bass going to be here. He is able to get the forwards enough pressure to take that final goalie barrier. Strike war going to be won here by Flowers. Molten Bolt comes through into the Firewall Sentry. Sero, no, misses the eye rush. That going to be the end of this offensive play, maybe, but that Tofu Fortress, a fortunate bounce. Maybe another opportunity. But freaking Chris going to be on the ropes here. No cooldowns, no health, no evade. It's just going to be all too easy for Sphinx to put it in. And again, freaking Esports, once again, just find themselves in front of this train that is Groundhog Day.
2 flips on the side. Oh, Groundhog Day. Oh, 1 flip is on the side of freaking Esports. Technically 2. with Hamsterquist on the verge of it. Kentaro pushing up with the passive, looking for a hero play here, but Flowers gets the first barrier. Sphinx almost gets the second, does get the second. Flowers has the flip. No dice on the scoring attempt, but the shotgun gives the ball to Flowers. The flip is used. But the defensive Oni's blade has griefed the defense of Freaking Esports, and now that is the nail in the coffin inside of Freaking Esports.
Yeah, and I feel like I gotta drop the casting for a bit. It really just feels like we are at a funeral for freaking esports. It feels like I have nothing to say but eulogies for freaking Chris and crew right now, as we just watch the inevitable happen. One goalie barrier goes down. All the GOG fans. Oh, a double barrier though. A bit unfortunate mishap here. Maybe not just quite the end here for freaking esports. Maybe they're gonna get one more shot at it, but the defense is going to come through. The back pass from Sero, unfortunately not going to find too much value. Second goalie barrier barely holds on for now. Now it might be the time. All the eulogies are said. Everything feels like it's been said and done. It's going to be an open net. The flip out from freaking Chris doesn't find the angle that freaking esports needs. And now Sero going to be knocked out. And it might just be all she wrote. Flowers gets the one-on-one here with Hamster Quest waiting in the wings. The mix-up not going to be found with the cyber swipe. The piercing shot comes through. We are in overtime, but the flip is going to be there, and it might just be freaking over. Cyber swipe's going to be there. A whiffed core flip, a little bit of excitement coming out from Groundhog Day, but it really just feels like it's your grog out for GOG. Drinks up and celebrate. Groundhog Day are your North American Strikers League Training Ground champions. They're going to be reigning supreme in Season 6, and they are going to be doing so without question. An absolute dominant performance here in day number 2.
It's not often that you see a 4-0 sweep in any type of league, NASA, Nasty. It doesn't happen often. And when it does, it just shows the dominance they assert on this league. Groundhog Day came from losers. They were the 6th seed, right? I think.
Ooh, 5th seed.
5th seed, okay. They were the 5th seed, doubted in the losers bracket, and they take a tear. They beat Ham's Dogs. Something's escaping me for the other losers match. Weasel Ferrets, and they beat Toyo, and then they make it to grand finals reset against freaking esports, and they go 4-0. And well played. They showed the colors. They showed how they played. They played with confidence, and with this unconventional play style, double midfield. Flowers basically playing the brawler position, but playing with midfield characters. And congrats to them. Congrats to Groundhog Day. And let's not take away the achievements of freaking esports, making that winners finals, getting 2nd place. But at the end of the day, it's a Groundhog Day sweep.
Yeah. Groundhog Day staking their claim here. We're going to be right back with a winner's interview. We're going to be looking at Groundhog Day as they celebrate their championship here in Season 6 as we conclude the final series of the North American Strikers League Season 6. So we'll be right back for some parting words. We'll be right back with some parting words from our final victors here on the day. We'll be right back. Give us a few minutes. Hi, everybody. I am here, and the final crown of the NAS has been hoisted on to Groundhog Day. I am here with the 3 members of that team here to represent themselves in the final few moments of the NAS Season 6. I'm joined by Big Tilt, who I will be passing over to the questions shortly. Big Tilt, take it away.
Yeah, okay. I will ask first. How do you guys feel about this win? It has to feel good.
Hell yeah.
Very
You
good, yeah.
H&N are
Hell
not
yeah,
11
still
anymore.
I wish I understood whatever you guys said right there. That I get the vibes. I feel like I get the vibes. A lot of excitement, a little bit of exhaustion. I feel like you guys did have a pretty long losers run, right? It's pretty brutal. Coming in
Undersold,
as
yeah.
5th seed, yeah. And hey, I feel that. I talk about awakening too much here on cast, but back to you, Big Till. Any further questions?
No, not really.
All right. Awesome. We'll get right into it. I do think that you guys had a very creative draft setup for your team. I was coming into the series really expecting the Juno to be a hotly contested pick. Obviously, Sphinx, you're going to be matching up against freaking Chris on that pick. But I saw that freaking esports felt really scared to lock it in. And I feel like a big part of that might have been your Jakar, which you've been piloting a lot during this grand finals and just this entire season in general. Thoughts on that pick? Thoughts on that matchup with the Juno? Any input that you could have on that?
Yeah, we banned Juno the last game, but the game before that, yeah, I feel like Drek's pretty good into Juno, especially on a map like Night Market. But yeah, I don't know, I'm generally just really comfortable with Drek and Juno. Those are like my 2 main picks, so I'm kind of surprised I didn't get like forced onto another pick one of the games. But yeah, it went well.
Yeah, absolutely did. I think that Jakar was something that freaking esports never really found an answer for. So I think you piloted that fantastically. On the flip side, talking about Flowers pickups, the no brawler, right? In this IME, in the Vice, again, such a huge hassle, so much damage for us. I'm fairly certain you peak the damage charts every single game of grand finals here. I could be wrong on that. It might be like one game where you didn't, but for the most part, you've been a powerhouse of KOs, a powerhouse of pressures, and you seem to have no problem getting through the goalies of freaking esports, regardless of your pick. Again, what are your thoughts behind the Vice Brawler, the IME Brawler, and I know that you have probably a Luna Brawler in your back pocket as well. What gravitates you towards those picks, and what do you think makes them so good?
Hold on. I just have a picture I need to show you real quick that fully emphasizes what I mean by picking like these pummelers.
Yeah, boot on your
Or not
webcam
these
so we
pummelers,
can
these
see
brawlers.
it.
I can't. I don't have a webcam.
Okay, then how are you gonna show me? It's okay, Flowers.
I can
We
send
can
you
articulate.
gems, but yeah.
What am I gonna do with it? What am I gonna do? I'm not showing it.
You can put it on.
Articulate.
Fine.
Articulate your thoughts,
I think
Flowers.
pummelers
Please.
is just funny.
Okay.
I just think
Was
pummelers
that
is funny.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Was that all the
No.
thoughts? Ain't no way.
No.
Ain't no
No.
Oh
shit.
yeah,
No.
no, it sounds about right with Flowers, yeah.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
I think
typical
pumps is
Flowers
funny.
behavior.
And hold on. Where is this?
Okay. Well, in the meantime, while Flowers futilely attempts to show me a picture,
Shut up.
Jewish Asian, the champion of melee goalies. I think that melee goalies have had a phenomenal performance here, specifically in NAST. Obviously, between you, the grand champion, Beelzebub, who had amazing performance all season long, and even right at the ends of it, Hamster Quest on the Dubu, it really felt like melee goalies had a place in NAST where it didn't find footing in the other leagues. And I want you to walk me through, why do you think these picks still remain so good, in particular in this league or just in general, despite some of the nerfs that have come their way?
I'm just gonna say barcode strat. All I really had to do is just hold it down at long enough for my team to kind of sweep the rest of the games, which I know they are capable of. So all I did was just hold it down forever, and that's pretty much just my thought about it. Just keep holding it and let my team have a chance.
Yeah, that absolutely makes sense. It definitely felt like you were able to just be an iron wall. Freaking esports tried so hard, especially in those last few sets. It felt like to get through you, but you really never let up. They didn't even end up taking a set in that final game. So well played to all 3 of you, really. And I think the question that's kind of naturally going to follow all of this is, what's next for Groundhog Day? Do you guys feel like you're going to take another stab at it once we get into the qualification seasons again? Are you guys exploring other options? Are you guys retiring? What's going to be happening for this crew coming into the next season?
I guess I'll go first for this. I said I'm only sticking with him if we win NAST, and
Here we
yeah,
I'm down.
yeah. Anyways,
Yeah,
I'm looking
we're
for
gonna
team.
we're gonna
Any
run it
brawlers
back.
or midfield or any brawlers or goalies, hit me up.
Yeah, fair enough. On GOG. On
Oh
GOG.
yeah, it's still a question mark basically.
Yeah, that's all good, essentially, but definitely a good thing to add to each of your all's LFT posts if that ends up happening. And just continuing that, I think we're wrapping things up here. We're just going to go down to shout outs. Let's start with Flowers. Anyone to shout out in particular that you credit a little bit of your victory to?
Twisty 100%, like, only person to be coaching me through, like, ever since I started playing. Like, also before our game against Koyo, I think it was Koyo or Dynasty Party in like weeks 6 and 7. Twisty actually did some coaching for Spring Rolls, who couldn't make it unfortunately, and JA. So I feel like that helped us a lot.
All right. Well, yeah, shout out to Twisty. Absolutely filling in. It feels like definitely is a season where we've had a lot of impactful coaches in NASA yesterday. We had a shout out to Gramella as well, right? And just continuing down the line here, Sphinx, any shout outs that you want to give?
Yeah, shout out to Spring Rolls. He was on the main roster, but he couldn't make it. And also shout out to East Coast Ping.
True. I know what you mean.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Any further things? Any further shout outs?
Like all our subs, thanks for playing, guys. It was fun, and thanks for coming in when we needed you, like Flowers, of course.
Hi.
Clutch. Really clutch.
W
Really clutch.
substitutes. Hey guys, a roster is like what? A roster could be up to like what, 11 people nowadays? Hey, it's a family out there.
It's 8
for
and 3
some of these teams.
coaches.
Yeah, so 11 people. Yeah.
Yeah.
So shout out to all your sub rosters, all your coaches, because it really does feel like they've had a huge impact this season across all the leagues. And now finally to wrap things up, JA, the man of the hour, the man who holds it down for an entire grand finals and a grand finals resets. Any shout outs to give out to anyone?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to just say shout outs to our coaches and our subs, but also our OG Cat Munch roster. So that's Mexi Casual, Mudflap, gotta shout out them.
I thought you were gonna keep going. Is
I
that is it? Yeah, it was like, and then now for more. Like, okay, fair enough.
That's
yeah,
all,
shout
folks.
out. Yep, that's all. All right, and again, congratulations to Groundhog Day. You guys have pulled it through. A grueling losers run has led you guys to victory. So, any parting words from any one of your rosters before we cut to break and to the end of the entire NAS Season 6? This is it. This is the last words.
I think everybody should learn Vice Brawler.
Okay. Does anyone have better words to add to conclude our series? To conclude our phenomenal, awesome, super close season 6, guys. All the pressure's on you. I'm gonna wait here.
I do actually have. I do have something. I do need to like.
Follow your dreams. You know,
yeah.
some tips. Go for it.
No.
And Sphinx.
And Sphinx. So when like our teams first like actually, I guess, fought, it was season 5 of the NAST season when I was on Famine Corp, and we took each other out in Winterside qualifier match. So winner made it and Famine Corp made it. That was like the first of like a series of constantly just going against each other and like everything. First week of NAST was me versus them, was me versus Cat Munch. First match of playoffs for that season for NAST was me versus Cat Munch. And then when it came to NAST LCQs this season, my team got taken out by Groundhog Day, which is the team, and now I'm here. So I think it's really poetic. Yeah.
You can't beat him, join him.
I still have a winning record against you guys. Famine lost to you in one game ever.
And
fair enough. And by the way,
no. I'm good.
No, go say it. Hey, you get your shot in. We got flow. We got a.
I was joking around with Flowers. Never mind.
Okay.
He's old. He forgot what he was gonna say.
And that'll be the moral of the story. Hey, if you think someone's good, reach out. I see a lot of players in OSAS and ISS. They're just timid. They're just, I'm not good enough. I'm not going to find anyone. And then they do. And then they do wonderful, wonderful things with it. So if that is the moral of the story of what Flowers just said, reach out, guys. We've got a long off season ahead of us. We've got LAN upcoming. Now is the time. You either got to shoot your shot to get your team together, or you got to forever hold your peace as we are ending out the season. But you're going to have plenty of time to do that in the upcoming off season. But rolling it back to today, again, congratulations to Groundhog Day. Thank you, everyone, for sticking with us and watching us throughout Season 6. It has been a wonderful experience to have you guys on board. It's been wonderful to cast and see all of these games, and I'm looking forward to more Omega Strikers in the future. For those of you who will be in Denver, I will catch you guys at LAN. If not, I'll see you guys in a couple of months. I am Brickbat, joined by Big Tilt and Groundhog Day. And before we leave, a huge shout out to obviously the production crew, Saya, all the referees, all the stats teams. Again, we have 80 plus, probably 50 plus daily active members of the team who have made this league a reality. And I want to give a huge shout out to all of them, all of the players who've set aside hours, people like a named player, Saya, Achi, all the referees. Oh my God, all the referees, they went through hell this season. Everyone who showed up and did work for the league. I can't list them all. Liari for doing the pre-shows, right? I could go through the list and go through all of them, and I'm probably not going to have time to do so. Sai's going to kill me if I go too long. But please, if you contributed to the NAS, if you contributed to the NAS from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for making this league a reality. So on that note, before I get murdered by every member in this Discord call, I am Brickbat, joined by Big Till and the rest of Groundhog Day. We'll catch you guys in a few months for qualifications in Season 7.
Nice.